The program today, I'll work on them in a minute. Number 11, Blake Martin. Number 12, Jack Hartley. Number 13, Jack Smith. Colts. Number 15, Charlie Holden. Number 16, Jaden Fisher. Number 17, Cody Fick. Number 18, Ryan Hamer. Coached by Kurt Hancock. The Monaro Colts, number 1, Ashton Naidu. Number 2, Menka Lower. Number 3, Jaden Young. Number 4, Mitch Day. Number 5, Jordan Potter. Number 6, Mitch Spencer. Number 7, Tully Wilton. Number 8, Kane Woodford. Number 9, Jake Staffy. Number 10, Number 15, Renfield. 16, Noah Sadler. Number 17, Josh Waters. And coached by Brendan Bradley.
Yeah, you want to drag them along? Where's the interchange?
As makeshift as it gets, welcome to Roberts Park here in Harden. The Monaro Colts under-16s up against the Western Rams under-16s here in the 4th round of the Andrew Johns Cup. We'll bring you the team lists as they become available. So the Monaro Colts in the red. The Western Rams in the green. Kick here by the 5/8. Down towards the touchline. Be brought away by the winger. And I'm greeted here by my co-commentator, Evan. Firstly, how are you doing, mate? Thanks for joining us. And do you have any team list changes for us?
Yeah, we've had a late withdrawal. Marlon Pollock's pulled out, and he's been replaced by the 18th man, Rowan Hamer. There was a bit of talk and some conjecture about whether Josh Dominello will be right to play the hooker. He's been one of the stars for the Rams 16 so far, but he was cleared earlier in the week and he's taken a place in the side today.
No worries, as we see a penalty there to Monaro. So going through the lineup, firstly with Monaro, we have Naidu, Lower, Young, Day and Potter across the back line. Spencer and Wilton, he's the halfback and the captain. And sorry, it was a play the ball penalty actually there, the Western Rams. So good field position for them to start. The front row, Woodford, Sase, Grant, Priestley, Nuggan Wu and Pepinell. And on the bench, Schmidt, Lemasio, Sadler, Waters, and Ryan Horay is the 18th man. Call the action here as the Rams very close to the line. The dummy half coming out there, that's Dominello. Shift here to the right-hand side, and that's the back rower, Jack Hartwig, and he's gone over. The referee points to the spot, blows the whistle, 4 points. Easy try there for the Rams.
Yeah, good ball there from Riley Blackall. He's pretty dangerous on that right edge. Got some early ball off Noah Griffith and was able to put Jack through the gap there. So he's looking pretty dangerous out wide, Riley. They'll have to keep an eye on him.
You seem to know this Western Rams team really well. What sort of role do you have here?
I'm with the Country Rugby League in the Western office there, so I've been sort of helping the boys through the program right from the start. Couple of familiar faces in there, so yeah, it should be a good day. They're a good side, this 16s. I'm looking forward to having a pretty close look at them.
And it's good to see these familiar faces, especially in such an important stage of their careers. Under 16s going into under 18s, possibly Jersey Flegg as they sort of move up through the ranks.
Yeah, it's really good what the CRL's done the last couple of years with the expansion of the academy program. Starts earlier in the year and they're exposed to a lot more strength and conditioning training and get to spend a lot more time together, which is what a lot of the Sydney teams are sort of familiar with. So to have that opportunity now in the bush, it really sort of improves the quality of the players at this level and makes for a great competition.
So we have the fullback Tyler Colley here from Bathurst St. Pat's. Conversion not too far out, not too wide. The flags go up 6-0. We'll have to keep check of the score here. We do have a timer, a minute in, from what I can see. And barely a cloud in the sky here. Great scenery out here. And, well, with the city country fixture gone in the National Rugby League, it's tournaments like this that bring country rugby league back to life. So the kick-off from the Colts. Bounces, and here comes man in the green headgear, and he's lost the ball. So jersey 15 there, Charlie Holman, it seems, from the Burke Warriors. And no. Well, they've said that the ball's gone dead. So to be a dropout here for the Rams. So it comes into the arms there of Jaden Young, and well, he's dropped his lollies. Now, how important is early control of possession and sort of holding the football, especially in, we're late into the rounds, finals coming up in a couple of weeks. How important is it to just get the simple things right early on?
Yeah, possession's going to be really critical today. It's very warm in Harden, so you don't want to be doing a lot of tackling today. If the boys can hold onto the ball early and get a few repeat sets, then it's going to suck a lot of the life out of Monaro.
And we see a nice backline movement there. Mitch Day from Queanbeyan United making the tackle as the Rams move up to the 40-metre line. There's the man, Dominello, offloading it. Harry Sullivan, he'll be tackled. Like what we're seeing here from the Rams early on, dummy and run by the halfback there. And Noah Griffith, he's the captain today. Here's Dominello again. And a penalty offside. Marker's not square. And Josh Dominello, very dangerous out of dummy half early on.
Yeah, he certainly has been. He'll look to link up with Noah all day. You saw Griffith just then taking him on down the left edge. He's in the Australian merit side for combined high schools last year, one of the stars of this team. So I want to keep an eye on him as well. Shooting themselves in the foot here a little bit, Monaro. A couple of mistakes early and some back-to-back penalties. We'll see if Western can capitalise here.
So right on the goal line. Left-hand side, it came there to Charlie Holman. I think we're going to see a double knock on here. It'll be a scrum feed to the Colts. The Andrew Johns Cup coverage here. We've got 4 games live for you today. We have the 16s and the 18s from both the Colts and the Rams. And then later on in the day, the Penrith Panthers will be in action. I've lost my team sheet. Against the Riverina Bulls, under 16s and under 18s, both coverage live here on Facebook Live and through Bar TV Sports.
Massive let-off for Monaro there. Rams dropping the ball. Holman with the loose hands there. So big let-off for them. They were looking a bit stretched in defence, having to defend a couple of sets in a row. So they'll look to work it out and get a bit of field position here.
Definitely important, especially in the early stages of this one. Good short ball there to Tyson Priestley. Try to beat 2 defenders. Brought down just shy of halfway. Left hand short side they come. It'll look like Mitchell Spencer, the 5'8" there. Last tackle, Wilson. Well taken there by Tyler Colley at the back. Looks like a bit of room to move. Brought down about 25 metres out there on the far touchline. And another penalty. Are we going to see a lot of penalties creep in on such a hot day here?
Yeah, it's easy to make mistakes like that today. The game should slow up a bit. It's been pretty frenetic in these opening exchanges, so I imagine that the game will slow up a bit as it moves on and the refs will allow a bit more laying around in the ruck. But this early in the game, you can't be doing that. And once again, Monaro giving away a penalty.
And like we said, round 4 here, the Andrew Johns Cup. This is the Southern Pool. The Western Rams undefeated so far. 3 wins from 3 games. As the referee will ask him to play the ball. They've been very, I suppose, anal about the play the ball area and, cleaning up the ruck. Sometimes allowing penalties for incorrect play the balls. They go through the lock forward here in Smith. Big, hard, strong run. Good, quick play the ball. Out to the captain, and now it comes to Collie. And 4 defenders to wrap him up. They come the open side, and here's Holman. Charlie Holman, you won't miss him in that green headgear. Comes away, Dominello, short side, nice cut-out ball away to the winger in Aiden Nunn.
Good defence there from Monaro too.
It looked like that was the last tackle. Not a bad option, though. Deep inside their own 10-metre zone here, Monaro. And they'll work it away from their own end.
That's a good option. With the
As we see a break here.
chase from Holland.
Good tackle, Holman. And a penalty here to Monaro. Well, good early possession there from the Rams. Just giving away a penalty.
Yeah, Holman did really well. The front rowers run back for the big chase there and unfortunately gave away the penalty. But again, Monaro failed to find touch with the kick and they just keep shooting themselves in the foot here. They just very simple mistakes that haven't been too costly yet, but it's just the possession for the Rams is mounting and they've got to do a lot of defence. We'll see what sort of toll it takes in the back end of this game.
Blake Martin there with the play the ball, and here is Harry Sullivan from the Oberon Tigers. Ball away to the 5/8 here in Blackhall, and another drop football. Is it just ball handling that's the issue, or, you know, we've seen a few drop balls early. Is it just going to get worse and worse as the day sort of progresses on? But like we said, it is very hot. What does it take to sort of just hold on to the football? Just keep it simple?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I've got to say I'm pretty surprised. These are two quality sides, and the standard of football so far has been a bit ordinary. Not quite what you'd expect from two teams of this calibre. So it's not going to get easier as the game goes on. As we've said, it's a hot day, and that sort of allows errors to creep in. So hopefully both sides can tighten the screws a little bit and, hold on to the ball.
Well, like we said, the Rams undefeated in this competition. Coming up to round 4, another penalty blown. Leg pull there from a Rams player. And the Bulls, they can still make it into the finals. They'll have to have a few results go their way. But a win today will go a long way for them to move into the semi-finals, at least, of the Under-16s Andrew Johns Cup. Good tackle there on Mitchell Spencer. And again, it's that man, Dominello, who's been really good in the opening stages. Pepinel. And Sarse to the left-hand side. Through the hands. Good cut-out ball. And here goes Jaden Young. He looks like he's got some space. Steps on the inside. Looks to pass. Gives it away to the halfback in Tully Wilton. The captain will be brought down 5 metres short of the line. To the right-hand side they come. Offload out the back. And now a beautiful cut-out ball. They have the numbers. And they've managed to keep it inside. No, the flag goes up. Menka Lower brought into touch. Exciting play there.
Yeah, that's brilliant defence from the Rams, but a great ball from the halfback, Tully Wilton, down that left edge. He's put his centre through a gaping hole. Absolutely fantastic ball there, and he's looking pretty dangerous on that left edge as well.
And as exciting as it was, do you think the Monaro Colts coach would have looked for them to just hold the football and maybe dribble it into the in-goal, maybe build some pressure down this end of the field? They haven't had a lot of football down here.
No, definitely. They've got to be looking for a repeat set there. Maybe just a little bit of panic. As you said, they haven't had a weight of possession, so the opportunity down there might have just been a bit too much.
So Dominello from dummy half. Actually, no, that's the number 2, Aiden Nunn. Good run here. Looks like Jack Smith beats a defender and he keeps going up over the 40-metre line. Here's Harry Sullivan. And again, a penalty. Offside. As the interchanges come on here for the Rams. Number 9 getting a well-earned break, Josh Dominello from Orange. Good kick to fine touch there. I've been told by my co-commentator Evan, Elijah Collis, watch out for him. He's Cody Crisp from Park Spaceman. 6-0, we've got probably half the half to go, 16 minutes in this opening half. And there is the number 12, Hartig. And I believe he scored the first try as well. So back-to-back tries for Hartwig, and it's 10-0.
Yeah, Jack's having a massive game so far. Pretty fat performance from him. He's made a couple of busts and crossed the stripe already twice, so he's looking very dangerous out there. He's a big unit, big rangy second rower, and he moves very quickly. So he's going to be a handful for Monaro down that left edge.
And from the Forbes Magpies, the back rower, Jack Hartwig.
We've seen, as we've just mentioned, Collis has come onto the field. He's a live wire from Wellington, about 13 kilos, ringing wet, but he is electric out of dummy half. He'll look to split him in the back end of this half. Monaro sort of tiring a bit in the heat there, and obviously Hancock's looked to put Collis into the game and exploit him around the ruck.
If you were to liken Elijah Collis to any NRL player, who do you think he sort of idles his game off?
Tell you what, he reminds me a lot of Preston Campbell circa 2003. Just electric around the ruck there. He's very quick. He'll look to run out of dummy half a bit, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple of quick breaks through that area.
Wasn't he a great player, Preston Campbell? And we have Tyler Colley successful with his first conversion. This one, well, smack bang in front, about 10 metres out. Between the uprights, as you expect. 12 points to 0. And well, you said it, they're both competitive teams, but you look at the Southern Pool, the Rams on top, the Bulls on the bottom. You sort of expected this. Sorry, the Monaro Colts. I'm excited for the day ahead. We've got the Panthers, the Bulls, the Colts, the Rams. It's all happening here in Arden.
It certainly is. There are a couple of teams from the Bidgie region there, Monaro and Bulls, so pretty easy to get them mixed up. But it's a good battle, first versus third. Monaro playing for a spot in the semis, so they'll be desperate to get the W, but things not going to plan so far for them at this point.
So I alluded to the Bulls earlier, so the Colts, they have a much better chance of making it into those semi-finals, but they will not want to lose today, to lose any momentum whatsoever. And there's that man you spoke about before, Elijah Collis out of dummy half. At 12 points to 0, a good lead, handy here. There's the front rower, Harry Sullivan. He's been strong early on.
Massive unit, Harry, Oberon boy, so he's tough. He'll keep carting it up the guts all day.
And there's that bloke that you spoke about, the 14, Elijah Collis, running out of dummy half. Here's the captain, Noah Griffith. Sky ball, and taken well there by Ashton Naidoo from Queanbeyan. They're struggling to get back on side here, the Colts. They make it back there, but, well, we've got 13 minutes to go, and early signs of fatigue creeping in.
Yeah, they've got through a mountain of defence already, so they're going to need their wingers and outside backs to come in and do a bit of work. Their big boys are blowing. We've just seen a couple of changes, actually, taking a couple of the big fellas off for a blow, so a bit more work from their outside backs would be very welcome at this stage. And
Noah Sadler, one of those men coming on. This might be him running the football now over halfway. Looks like he lost the ball there, but he holds on to it. And comes away from Schmidt and now finds the halfback Tully Wilson. Taking here his Monk. Awkward looking bounce, but he takes it away. Maybe it is just the fatigue creeping in. The Rams just struggling to get back on. They're on now. As we said, it's quite hot out here. Probably about 30 degrees. Barely a cloud in the sky. It's going to be tough work here for both teams with such a lot on the line. Here's Blake Martin. Another one from Bathurst St. Pat's. Slow to get up. Left-hand side they come. The captain dummies and takes them on. Breaks the tackle back on the inside. And here's that man that played the ball in Blake Martin. Gets an offload away. And unlucky there. because Elijah Collis looked like he was away, and he had a bit of an overlap there on the left-hand side.
Yeah, they looked very dangerous there. Again, the combination between Griffith and Collis. Griffith making the initial break, turning it back inside, and they've worked outside, and Collis looked like he was going to put him over down that left edge again, but for a bit of desperate defence there. So off the hook a bit there, Monaro. They've got 6 more to defend.
Counting down the minutes here till half-time. I've been really impressed with the captain and the halfback. The ball out there to Noah Ryan. It seems like the spine has good cohesion. Collie, Griffith, Dominello when he was on. Elijah Collis has come there. Huge tackle there on the 17, Cody Crisp. Here's Harry Sullivan. They're starting to get physical. Trying to force an error close to the line.
Are we backing Jack Hartwig for a first half Hattie here?
Yeah, definitely. Right-hand side. Here's the lock forward in Smith. Beats one tackle, gets the offload away. They've got the numbers out the short side. And just dove on the ball there. It was Cooper Monk there on the right-hand side. Dummy. And he's very short. There's a blade of grass in that. Left-hand side as we go. Crossfield kick. Taken well. Is he close to the line? He might have got it down. 8-0. Competing for the football. Great crossfield kick from the captain, Noah Griffith. 16 points to 0. What a great try.
That's a spectacular take from the Blaney boy. He looked to be a little bit short, I thought. Sort of good pinpoint depth there, but I didn't think it was quite going to carry that last defender. But Nuns just leaped up over the top of him and grabbed it, and he's got himself a 4-pointer. Brilliant.
Now, we know in the NRL how much they practice week in, week out, these spectacular tries. We saw Nano McDonald on Thursday night. How much training goes into those sort of efforts with the under-16s and under-18s? Do you think they want to show off a bit like they can finish like the big boys in the NRL?
Oh, absolutely, mate. Firstly, what about that try from Nano McDonald? What a rip snorter. The game's just changed, mate. 15 years ago, wingers couldn't do this sort of thing, and you see these boys at this age, all they want to do is emulate those NRL stars. So you'll see more and more of it creeping into this level, but just absolutely brilliant. The skills they got now is just phenomenal.
And great finish there. The man in the grey and red headgear. 8-0. We see Collie a much more difficult attempted goal here, right on the touchline. You're backing him in?
Mate, the kid's got a golden boot. That's probably the commentator's curse. You'll miss the ball completely now, but no, I'm going to back him in for this one.
Well, I said 2 weeks ago I backed in the fullback, and he missed, obviously. But I'm going to back him in alongside you. Collie. About probably 23 out, right on that touchline. And, well, the commentator's curse prevails.
Absolutely. That was almost a certainty. Once we give him the kiss of death there, he was never going to get it, was he? So I knew all along.
And it's still a 16-point lead, a handy 16-point lead. And we've got 8 minutes till the break. They won't want to let up. They'll want to, press on and just keep the pressure on. They've been very good.
Yeah, I think all that possession that we've talked about early on, it's starting to show a bit with Monaro now. They wouldn't want to leak another try. It's only 8 minutes till half-time. It's a real danger period for them. But they've just had to do too much work in defence.
And definitely the weight of possession has gotten to them as Hartwig. He's going to be looking for that first half hat-trick. Down the short side, closest to our makeshift commentary booth. Big physical tackle there. Mitch Day. And they drive him back. Some sort of fight back here from Monaro needed. And again, a great run. Mason Pollack. Wind starting to pick up as we see Josh Dominello back on the field. Last tackle. Out to the right-hand side with Blackhall. Another skying kick. End over end, well taken. I think that's the winger out there, Jordan Potter. And am I right in saying we've got Dominello and Collis on the field at the same time?
Yeah, I'd say I'm not sure what's going on here, whether Dominolo's moved into a half role. He's pretty versatile. He's a nuggety little unit, so he could even be playing in the middle there. We see him just making a bone-crunching tackle. So he's a very versatile footballer. It's pretty handy to have both of them on the field at the same time, definitely.
Definitely with Monaro fatiguing, as we see a penalty there over the vertical. And look forward there, Jack Pepinell from the Goulburn Juniors. I want to force some pressure and try and score a try if they can. They haven't had a lot of the football, especially down in this end. So hopefully they welcome it. Here's the 16, Noah Sadler. About 25 metres out from the line. Now the 10, big run here, Jack Grant. Brought to ground. The 14 is Oscar Schmidt. Now outside, inside, good ball. Lock forward, Pepinell again. Second run of this set. Left-hand side they come. Through the hands, they've got the overlap. Just couldn't capitalise. It's gone backwards, says the referee, so Potter's got it. And still a few tackles left in this set. Here's Keegan Nagan Wu. I think it's the last signalled. And I think it's another incorrect play the ball here. We've had a few early in this game. What do you think about the change in the rule?
Oh, I'm not a massive fan of it, to be honest. I see they're cracking down on it a bit in the NRL. I mean, it doesn't make a huge difference whether your left stud touches the ball or not, does it?
Oh, I think it's just more so the premise of getting players to play the ball. You do see players tend to get a bit lazy. But, they're cracking down on it. It's given the Rams a chance to, attack with not a lot left in the first half. Dominello. And well tackled there. Elijah Collis. Don't let him in open space. 17 there, and Cody Crisp. Up over halfway. Left-hand side they come. Griffith with a great kick. It's going to sit up here for the fullback in Naidu. He's got some work to do. Gets it out of his own end. He's seeing a lot of class here with Noah Griffith. Good kicking game he's got. And the boys really sort of spark up when he seems like he's a very good leader on the field.
His kicking game's been pretty solid so far, but full credit to Monaro back three. They've been really good early in this game. Naidu with a strong carry back there off that kick. They're looking pretty solid, those three.
And they have been peppered by Blackhall and Noah Griffith. Here's the kick there from Spencer. Close to a 40-20. Taken well there by Collie. Steps one. He's brought down there by Lower. So now we're getting into a bit of a grind with about 4 minutes remaining on the clock. 3 minutes as I look to my left-hand side. Strong run there by Jack Smith for the Red Bend Catholic College. Dummy from the dummy half there, and poor hands. It's still there for the Rams. Short of the 40. Maybe look for a chip and chase. And it looks like that man again, Cody Crisp. Good impact off the bench. We see a man go down. Bit of a head clash there. Noah Sadler. He doesn't look right at all.
Not good for Sadler there. He's been good since he's come off the bench. Made a real impact for Monaro, so they obviously don't want anything to be wrong with him here. But just one of those unfortunate things. Bit of a head clash there. And Sadler looks a little bit worse for wear.
And of course, player safety is most important. Well, hopefully he's all right. As we close down end of the first half here, what do Monaro need to do in the second half? Obviously, they need to hold the football, but what do you think they need to do to get over the advantage line here with the Rams?
Yeah, it's just pretty simple, isn't it? They've just got to be better disciplined and not drop ball. If they've given the Rams way too much possession in the first half, if they're going to fight their way back into this game, they've just got to play field position, look for a couple of repeat sets, and look to have a bit more ball in hand rather than making 1,000 tackles.
Well, that's a good sign. Noah Sadler of Woden Western has been carried off the field. Looks fairly groggy. He'll come over to the interchange bench, and good judgment to say that his afternoon might be over. That's not good news at all for the Colts.
No, it's I'd say that's the end of Sadler's day. A bit unfortunate for the young fellow who's having a really good game. So it's one of the big areas of improvement in rugby league in the last couple of years, though. A lot more emphasis placed on head injuries and concussion, and sports trainers and doctors are a lot more proactive about it. So you just don't risk it these days, and yeah, unfortunate for Sadler, but that'll be him for the day.
And last tackle and a bit of a chip and chase. Good bounce though for Monaro. And here's the number 5, Jordan Potter. He's brought down. So what can they do with probably their last set of the half? I look towards the middle. Brought down there by Hartwig and Smith. Been pretty solid there in the middle. Oh, good tackle there. Dominello again. Playing that middle role. Good short ball. Oh, there goes the siren. Maybe they didn't look at the clock, but there's been good action in the first half of the Andrew Johns Cup. The under-16s, our first match here, the Monaro Colts up against the Western Rams. The Rams lead 16 points to 0. And what do you think the coaches will be saying at halftime to both sides?
I think Hancock's message to the 16s Rams will be fairly simple. Keep doing what you're doing. They're pretty clinical that half. Didn't make as many mistakes as Monaro, and the scoreboard's reflecting that. They'll look to just keep building through the second half, and I'd say another probably 10 points and they'd nearly have this one wrapped up. Whereas Monaro, they've got a lot of work to do. The coach will have a bit to say about that half. The message will be fairly simple. Hang on to the ball, look for a bit of a repeat set, and just stop giving away penalties.
Well, thank you for joining us for the first half of the Andrew Johns Cup. We'll be back shortly, so don't go anywhere. Second half action coming up shortly. Welcome back to the live coverage of the Andrew Johns Cup. Under 16s between the Monaro Colts and the Western Rams. The Rams up 16 points to nil. And the back three for the Monaro Colts, they were very good. Jack Pepinell from the Goulburn Juniors, he was very good as well. Those are the players that need to stand up for the Colts. If you saw earlier, Noah Sadler, he was out as the second half is underway. He's on the bench. Hopefully he's all right. For the Rams, the spine was very good. The try in the first half to Aiden Nunn, spectacular. One of the better tries we've seen in this tournament here in the Country Championships. And a double to Jack Hartwig in the first half. So 16-0 as the second half resumes here. It looks like the rest did well for the Colts. They look like they have a bit of spark here. Very early on, here's number 4, Mitch Day. And through the hands. Big unit, Ramsey Lemessio. Through the hands, a nice dummy and run there from Tully Wilton. On the last. They come away and it's Spencer. Crossfield kick. Went backwards from Nunn. And he's dived on it. Much better set there, the first of the second half there from the Colts.
Yeah, it certainly was. They got to the kick, which is good. Good sign for the Mill in this second half. Bit of a whoopsies from Aiden Nunn out there, the bloke that scored that miraculous try in the first half. He's put that one down, but thankfully it's gone back. He was able to recover, and Rams are working away from their own line.
We see the number 9, Dominello, looks to be playing that lock forward role. Him and Elijah Collis both on the field. Here is Collis. Speak of the man, missing the tackle there. It was Waters. Just a bit too quick was Elijah. Griffith with a sky kick. Chasing through his number. The ball's gone dead.
Will that do, Tim, or you want a bit of timber? Should be right. No,
just a bit too much on that kick by Griffith. But Aiden Nunn, he's got some blinding pace.
Yeah, he certainly does. He looked to chase that one down. We saw it in the NRL last night. You can't be letting kicks like that bounce. It can go anywhere, and brought the Cowboys unstuck last night and was nearly unstuck for Monaro there.
And Monaro, they can't allow any more tries to be conceded. They need to hold on to the football, and we'll try and get some points on the board first. Try and get some good field position, and try and do that through the man Waters. So Schmidt, Spencer, and here's Naidu. Over halfway a Monaro. So Schmidt, and here he is. Ramsey Lemessio. Was that 4 brought him down? Not 3 in the tackle. Thought there was 4. Short side they come. Spencer, huge hit there. The number 7, the captain, leading by example, Noah Griffith.
Yeah, massive hit from there. Just good timing on that one. Wrapped the arms around, so it wasn't a shoulder charge, which is good. Could have been a silly penalty had he given one of them away, but he's I don't know, he might have felt that one out there on the right edge.
You don't see it all too often, halves coming together, but boy, that was a very physical confrontation. Again, an early error from Monaro. The Rams look to work it away. Ashton Naidu forced to come up there and make the tackle. Here is Griffith. Down that short side, thought he saw something there, closed up pretty quickly. He's the 17 in Cody Crisp. He's been pretty crisp coming off the field. Coming onto the field, rather. Here's Hartwig. He'll be looking for a third today. I think so. Kick out of dummy half there from Dominello. It looks like Naidu with the ball there.
I'll tell you what, if Hartwick doesn't get his hat-trick today, I'll walk back to Bathurst.
I think there might be someone in the crowd giving him a nice incentive if he does score a hat-trick. Maybe Macca's on the ride home.
Oh, mate, if he'd be due for a Happy Meal for sure on this performance so far. He keeps playing like this, we might even go a Big Mac McValue.
And if he's stuck with the Happy Meal, what sort of guy do you reckon he's like? The 6-nugget Happy Meal or the cheeseburger?
Oh, he'd definitely be a cheeseburger boy.
So the Colts just trying to muscle their way through. They've been pretty good in this middle area. And just as I say that, lost football there by Jack Pepinell. He was so good in the first half. But again, you can't lose ball at this end of the field.
No, same mistakes that were crueling them in the first half there. They've worked almost out of their own half before they put the ball down. Good bit of sportsmanship there from the boys, though. A little bit of a hug after that and a word of encouragement.
And the scrum will have to reset here. So we've got Riley Blackhall feeding the scrum, also from the Wellington Cowboys as well as Elijah Collis. Maybe some cohesion there by the two boys. And here comes the kick. We might see Aidan Nunn running through, although Tyler Colley is running through also. But it's picked up there by Cooper Monk. And inside the 10, he was offside from the kick. Very good awareness there to see that by the halfback.
Yeah, it was a good kick through, but just a courageous bit of work at the back from Potter. He threw himself on that like it was a live grenade. Excellent stuff. Good urgency from the young man.
And we see Elijah Collis coming from the field. Harry Sullivan, who was very good early on, back onto the park. So you'd think that Dominello would shift back into the dummy half role. And here is this big fella again. Lemessio, I wouldn't want to tackle him, that's for sure. Only 2 to bring him down. And again, just losing the football. Not focusing on that play the ball. Another scrum down here. The Rams inside the half of the Colts.
Yeah, another silly mistake. He's made a bit of an impact off the bench. Bit of an understatement, that, Big Ramsey. And, yeah, again, great run. Really good work. Followed up with a poor bit of football.
Be interesting to see what we see here from Griffith and the Colts. Not the Colts, the Rams. And it's the centre. Great footwork there. And brought down there by Lower and Co. Mason Pollard with the ball. Dominello. Over away to the 5'8" in Blackhall. Couldn't manage to find anything there. Sullivan. Back off the bench. He'll be looking for a meat pie as well. Left-hand side they come. Griffith double pumps. And he finds Martin there. Fourth tackle trying to get them back on side. Dominello. Fifth and last, I'll be looking for Griffith. But he's the man going into dummy half. Out the back they go. Here's Blackhall. Nice little grubber kick. Looked like there was a put down, but no, it's gone dead. It's going to be a 20 tap. The Colts to work it away from their own end. So the 18 Ryan Horace come on from Queen Bean United. As the outside backs work it away.
Tell you, Mason Pollock doesn't seem to be missing his twin brother Marlon today. Marlon was ruled out with a head injury earlier in the week, but Mason's having an excellent game. He's certainly been one of Rams' best.
And definitely good late footwork there. I've been really impressed with the number 9, Josh Dominello, both in defence and trying to set up the attack as well. And again, another play the ball penalty. They really are coach killers, aren't they?
The poor fellow, he's gone grey over here next to us, the coach in the box. It's going to be a long ride home if this keeps up.
You see, they've great body language there by Blackhall, just saying, calm it down. We've got the lead. We've got a substantial enough lead. We just need to play possession footy, complete sets. A lucky fan of the crowd catching the football. Now working away from their own end. Here is Hore. So Dominello. That's the 15 in Charlie Holman. Outside, inside. Blackhorn, sorry, yes. It was Rowan Hamer. The 18 from the Bathurst Panthers. He'll play it out to the left-hand side. Griffith. Good shape all day. Picked up there by the 3 in Noah Ryan. Just seemed a bit lost. Griffith looks to straighten it up here with Dominello. Gets the offload away there to Blake Martin. And we've got the last tackle. Dominello, Griffith, crossfield kick, looking for the opposite winger to what he did in the first half. Good take. And it's a dropout, so accidentally forward. Dropout for the Colts.
Out there on that wing. That's second good bit of work he's done at the back there this half.
Looking for that opposite winger in Cooper Monk. And here goes Charlie Holman into the defence. 2 years to bring him down. Dominello, Griffith. Good spine work there. Sullivan. And a good tackle there by the smaller man. Dominello, left-hand side. Blackhall comes through to the centre in Pollack. Good talk here from the Rams. And again, it is Holman. Look to get the offload away. Couldn't get an arm free. Left-hand side. Griffith turns him under again, and this is Fisher. Brought down short of the line. Fifth and last, what have they got for us on this occasion? Straight to Sullivan, trying to barge over. Now, look, end of the set, but great position to give the ball away.
Yeah, look, that's not a bad option necessarily. You kick it dead and they get 7 tackles from the 20, so we got them pinned down there. But a poor set there from the Rams. They're way too sideways, that set. The first hit they took directly into the line was the last one. They thrown it to a front row on the 5th tackle, so Hancock wouldn't be pleased with that set from the Rams.
A few Rams players called offside here by the referee. The man officiating this game, Connor Hibbert, as the ball comes towards us, just over the top. Thank goodness. I was worried there for a second. Evan was ready to catch the football. Almost a drop of the football there. 3 to bring the man down there. There was a number 12 there in Nagan Wu. And still muscling up well in defence here are the Rams. So Schmidt, Pepinell. He's going towards the middle. Here is Spencer. Hands it off. It'll be Tyson Priestley. Spencer again. Little kick over the top. Where is the outside back? Looking for none. It looks like he's got it. Now, Dominello out of dummy half. That's 6 again, so that'll be 0 tackle. But good driving defence there from the Colts. And now here it looks like Jack Hartwig with the ball. Oh, good strong run. And again offside. Well, unfortunately, discipline has just not been there today.
No, it certainly hasn't. They've given away a mountain of penalties. That one just putting him in a dangerous position to tackle. They're a little bit unlucky. One of those ones where it's a pretty solid hit and it just goes a little bit astray. No harm, no foul, but again, they'll have to do some more defending here, Monaro.
I spoke about Connor Hibbert. He is our main official. The one referee, do you prefer the one referee to the 2 we see over in the NRL?
Absolutely, I do. Hey, it's always good. You watch test matches, international matches now, and it goes back to the one referee system, and it is the best thing. Best thing since sliced bread, I reckon.
And sliced bread is pretty good. Sullivan brought down about 25 out. Right-hand side they come. That is Hamer, who played directly on the 30. Sullivan again. Been strong coming off the bench in the second half after starting so well in the first. Dominello. Griffith pumps. Takes the tackle, 5th and last. They'll be looking for Blackhall. Dominello, Blackhall, cross field. Got the ball. Was brought down, looking for the offload, finds it. There's a bit of open space here for the number 4. Has he got it down? Mason Pollack. They're going to point to the spot. And well, they've been peppering away, but finally Mason Pollack, he picks up the chocolates. A try there for him.
Yeah, great bit of work there. I thought they'd blown it when Martin took the kick and looked to be tackled, but he's got the offload away, and you're not going to stop Mason Pollack with that much space from that far out. He's a big boy, and he's very quick. It's just too much to ask for the Monaro defenders there.
I believe that's 20 points to 0, 15 gone in the second half. And again, just weight of possession. Too many penalties given away. And the Rams, you look at them, they're undefeated so far. Do you think they're a team that could take out this competition?
I'm probably a little bit biased, but absolutely I do. I think the way they've played so far, they'd have to be pretty good for favouritism. I think knowing Coach Hancock, he wouldn't be sort of drilling that into them. He likes to keep the boys focused on 1 week at a time, staying in the moment, so he won't be looking too far ahead. But I've got my green jersey on today. It's St Patrick's Day today, so I'm all about the green machine.
And I see a team here in second place that I saw play 2 weeks ago, the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. They look like a formidable outfit. That could possibly be the final, or the semi-final here in the Southern Pool.
Yeah, the Rams got over them in a very close game last week. It was a pretty good encounter, so I wouldn't be surprised to see those two teams meet again in the final.
Tyler Colley, he's only missed the one conversion. It was from a pretty similar position. This the better angle for him, though. Does it have the distance? It does. About 5 metres inside the touchline. And you're right, he does have a good boot on him.
Oh, he's a very good kicker. Did you notice that time we didn't put the mockers on him?
And he kicked the goal.
Straight over the black dot.
So maybe we should just shut up and let these boys kick the goals. No commentators curse.
Yeah, I think we really shot him in the foot there, that first one, didn't we? As soon as we open our big mouths, he goes and misses. It'll probably be the only kick he misses all day.
Stand and deliver there from the fullback, Tyler Colley from Bathurst St. Pat's. 22-0. Comprehensive at this stage. Good shift of the football. And again, Charlie Holman brings it back. And Elijah Collis has made his way back onto the field. In this last sort of 12 to 13 minutes, you can imagine he would be a massive headache here for the Monaro Colts. Here comes Charlie Holman once again, second hit up of the set. You're watching live on Facebook Live through Bar TV Sports. The under-16s, Andrew Johns Cup, the Monaro Colts taking on the Western Rams. Western Rams are the top of the Southern Pool. The Colts needing to win to stay alive. Good bomb there and a nice take there. Ashton Naidoo. The back three has been very sound here for the Monaro Colts.
Yeah, I mean, it's 35 degrees here today, and that's come down with snow on it, but didn't faze Naidoo at all. He's taken it, and he's had a brilliant game so far. Just a one error from him, and he's looked dangerous every time he's touched the ball.
We'll slow play the ball. I think that's the number 4 there, Mitch Day. Hopefully he's all right. And the outside backs, lower with the ball, trying to take the pressure off the forwards. As another interchange made by the Colts. Just lacking a bit of direction at the moment. They come the short side. Good show and go, good ball, and here it goes. Jaden Young, he's got some pace to burn, shows it. And he's going to be brought down. Last tackle. Show and go from the halfback, going himself. But a poor end of the set. Tully Wilton thought he saw some space. Wasn't quite there.
No, that's the second time he's put Young through a gap there. He's looked real dangerous down that left edge. He's certainly been Monaro's best today, Tully Wilton. He's found a hole in that Rams right edge defence a couple of times, and he's exploited it again there. A little bit unlucky that there wasn't a support runner to finish it off. But yeah, good stuff from Tully.
Definitely makeshift here. My paper's blown away. It's all happening here in Harden. My first time here, great visit and great action. So the Rams with the ball again, and oh God, it's been a physical game. Is the one thing I've taken away from all the games here in the country championships. It has been very physical. Good take again there. This is Jordan Potter. And again, good run, sound back three, trying to get a penalty, a quick play the ball. He's lower. Breaks through a few tackles, good run. They just seem to not have the energy. Maybe another run. Sullivan tried to go up and make the hit. Breaks a few tackles there. Does Jack Grant. Gets the offload away. The coach barking instructions. Short ball. Now there's Tane Wolford. And he's short of the line. Overlap to the right. They dummy and go the opposite way. To the left-hand side. Dummy. And it looks like he's in. Tully Wilton, well, he's been hard-working all day. Thought they were going to go to the right, which was the open side, but they come back to the left, lucky to score, but they get points on the board.
Yeah, I thought they may have blown it there, Monaro. They had a massive overlap out on the right edge. Western looked to be really stretched, and they've come back to attack the left side through Tully, but obviously Wilton knew what he was doing because he took the line on and he got himself a 4-pointer.
And a well-deserved 4-pointer for the captain there. There's no lack of trying here from all teams in the country championships.
I think it's only fair we probably back him in for this kick, do we? One each?
Yeah, well, not a similar position. It's much more infield, but Ashton Nadeau, he's been one of the best players for the Colts today. Very good at the back, been good under the high ball. Well, about 22 metres out, probably about, I'd say 10-15 in from touch. Right foot kicker Ashton Nadeau for the Colts. And well, just like you said, he threw it over.
Yeah, he didn't put the curse on that one, did he? He struck that beautifully, straight through the uprights.
And well, he's been really good, Tyler Colley, with the boot, but that misconversion, I mean, we've got 8 minutes to go. We've got a scoreboard up here, 22 points to 6. But 8 minutes to go, 3 converted tries. Do you think the Colts have it in them to pull off what would be some sort of upset?
Geez, it would make for a scintillating last 8 minutes, wouldn't it? But I won't say it too loud. The Colts bench is just next to us here, but unfortunately I don't know that they've got it in them. Rams have been pretty solid in defence. It's the first points they've leaked today. So I can't imagine seeing 3 more tries in the next 8 minutes. Well,
we'll have to see. Menkaloa taking the ball up. We've seen stranger things in rugby league, and that's why we love the game. Good run there, Jack Grant. Fire seems to be lit up. Good ball. Pepinell gets the offload away to the front rower. Wolford, as he's brought down. Left-hand side they come. Dummy and run. Now Young. The pass there from the captain in Wilton. Last tackle. They need something to happen here. Wilton cross-field kick. None looks to be under it. Nice and soundly. Brought down there by Lower. Was that the right option there, the cross-field kick?
Oh, look, cross-field kick was on, but it just didn't have enough depth. Didn't put Nunn under enough pressure and didn't give his chasers time to put any pressure on Nunn. So cleaned up far too easy at the back there by Western. Another poor 5th tackle option.
As the Rams work it away again from their line. Looks like Cody Crisp again underneath there. Had a strong end to the first half. The man that, well, he wants a hat-trick, Hartwig. 5th and last. Look for the dummy, Elijah. Back to Hartwig. It's touched. It'll be 6 to go. And Elijah Collis out of dummy half, looking dangerous as the fullback Collie gets in amongst it.
I've got to tell you, after my outlandish comment there earlier, I want Hartwig to get a hat-trick too. He's got the ball now. He's attacking the line, and I don't know if you know the geography, but it's roughly 190, 200 k's from Harden to Young. So Harden to Bathurst. It's a fair walk.
Here they come, the short side. That's the 6 in Blackhall, trying to dance his way around defenders. Now it comes away to Hamer. Very close to the line. Maybe Collis goes over from here. No. Left-hand side, Griffith. Now for Sullivan, the big fella. Brought down in a good tackle. They got numbers out to the left. That's the way they come. Griffith, short ball. Cody Crisp. Brought down again. Numbers away to the left. Comes away. Griffith. Cut out ball. 8-0. He bags himself a double. Good pass from Ryan Griffith. And that puts the icing on a cake that's, well, it's all but done.
There's very delicious cakes in Patrick's Day. I've mentioned it already. The green machine rolling on here now. That's just a much better set from the Western Rams. Griffith's a quality footballer, and when you give him an overlap like that, he's going to exploit it every time. He's put a bullet pass onto Nunn's chest, and the Blaney boy grabs himself a 4-pointer. Second for the game.
Well, we saw his try in the first half. Absolutely sensational. But he can just stroll over and put it down. Still gives Tyler Colley quite a difficult conversion attempt. And this is the first of 4 games. So we've got the Monaro Colts up against the Western Rams next in the under-18s, the Laurie Daley Cup. And that'll be followed by the Riverina Bulls taking on the Penrith Panthers in the under-16s Andrew Johns Cup, followed by our main event, the Laurie Daley Cup under-18s. The Penrith Panthers taking on the Riverina Bulls. 4 games live here from Roberts Park in Harden. Now he's taken these a fair way back, probably about 26, 27 metres out, hugging the touchline. It's a fair distance.
Yeah, he's a good striker of the ball. He'll have the distance, no worries. I think he's taken it back here to open up the angle a little bit. He's been striking him pretty well today, so we'll see if he knocks this one over.
We'll just sit here and watch. Away to the right-hand side. Another difficult attempt, but he's been pretty good with the boot today. Only 2 misses. 3 from 5. With 3 minutes to go. 26 points to 6. Seems all but over. But still good spirit here from the Colts. A loss doesn't make them miss the finals. They'll have to win next week. But they'll want to keep their spirits high in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, they'll look to finish off strongly here. They, as you said, they're not ruled out of semi-final contention. Today's made it a lot more difficult, obviously, and they'll need that win next week. But here's Big Jack taking a run. I needed him to go 90 there. He's been brought down, though. But, yeah, they'll just look to finish off mistake-free here and look forward to next week.
And the Monaro Colts will take on the Penrith Panthers, who will be in our next 2 games. We're following the Laurie Daley Cup, of course, between these 2 teams. And that'll be at Goulburn. And you can find that on Facebook Live next week through Bar TV Sports. And closing down, last 2 minutes of this one. Here's Hartwig. Still going to want that hat-trick. He'll be looking for the try line. And here goes Elijah Collis straight through the middle. Speed to burn and, fifth tackle. He just wanted to show what he's got there.
Yeah, not a great option, but I think it was on. There was a bit of a gap there, and with his speed, it's pretty unusual. He doesn't sniff through them, so not a bad option, I suppose, given the circumstances of the game, but maybe a kick in would have been a bit smarter.
Here comes at number 12, Negan Wu. He's lost the football. I was just about to say he's been pretty good today. Soundly, pretty underrated. I'm struggling to find words to describe his performance today, but he's been good.
He's been very solid for him. Unfortunately, that's been the story of the day. Monaro coming out from their own end once again, dropping the ball. It's probably the difference between these 2 sides today, discipline and ball handling.
So here's Collis. Away comes to Griffith. Brings the man on the inside. It looks like the number 3, Noah Ryan. Adjacent to the uprights. Collis, Sullivan. short of the line. About 30 seconds to go. This will probably be the last play of the game. Blackhall puts in a little grubber kick. Who's chasing? Oh, he's too good. I reckon he's got there, Blake Griffith. What about the speed that he showed to get that football down the captain? Noah Griffith from the Bathurst Panthers. Great speed, puts another 4 points on the board. 30 points to 6.
Yeah, beautiful little kick there from Blackhall. I gave Griffith absolutely no chance of being the first person to that football, but that just shows the urgency the Rams have shown today. And nice little try there to Noah, and that'll seal it off for the Rams.
So 30 points to 6. We'll see a conversion attempt by Tyler Colley, but if I'm to give a player of the match for their efforts today, I don't think you can go past Noah Griffith.
Yeah, he's certainly been one of the standouts. I mean, I'd probably look at a few of the others as well. Dominello had a great game. Mason Pollock was really solid out on the edge there, and Colley had a pretty good game at the back. But you're right, it's hard to go past Griffith. He was pretty much in everything there today, directing traffic, and had a direct hand in, I think, 4 of the 5 tries. So really good effort from them.
And just as we spoke about Tyler Colley being magnificent with the boot, just unfortunately missing there. So 3 from 6, still a pretty good day out with the boot. There were a few tough conversions, but it ends up being 30 points to 6, the final score between the Western Rams and the Monaro Colts.
Yeah, a bit like my uni days there, 50%, that's a pass. We'll give it to him.
Definitely. And we spoke about the Colts there. They're taking on the Penrith Panthers at Goulburn next week. You'd say, probably looking at the cup draw, the winner might have a good chance of meeting the Rams in the final. Of course, you've got the Illawarra South Coast Dragons as well. They'll be looming. But a loss here will hurt them. But a win next week against Penrith could well put them in the final of the South Pool.
Yeah, definitely. They're looking for that semi-final spot. I haven't seen too much of the Northern Pool, to be honest, but obviously the 2 Southern Pool semi-finalists will win, and it'll be an all-Southern final. That's just the way it seems to go. Maybe.
Well, thank you for joining our coverage for the first game, the Andrew Johns Under-16s Cup, our first game between the Monaro Colts and the Western Rams. The Rams going out victors 30 points to 6. Join us shortly. Don't go away. We've got 3 more games here live. We'll follow this up with the Laurie Daley Cup, the under-18s between the Monaro Colts and the Western Rams. I've been James Robertson. I've been joined by Evan.
Yeah, thanks very much for your time, Jim. That was really good, and I'm looking forward to the other games on today.
For me and Evan, it's goodbye for now, but please resume coverage with the second game, the Monaro Colts under-18s and the Western Rams under-18s.
Alright, Daley, can you hear me, mate? Yeah, got you right. Where's the Bennett, can you hear me? Yeah, mate, I've got you. Yeah, got you. Sweet. Where you are, mate? Right, stand side. Twelve hands off. Marcus lock in. Hold. Go, one. Luke, let him go. All the way back, left side. Hold. Go, two. Do your 10. Thank you. Off the ball now. Marcus lock in. Here we are. Go, 3. This one's me, Dennis. Gotcha. 6, release the ball. Hey, gentlemen, 12, don't go early. Marcus lock in. He's locked in. Hold. Go, 4. Good, 1, good. Release him. 5 and last. Hold here. No early. Go. All on. Kick us good. Kick us through, mate. 12, stand up. Hold. Hold, Joe. 1. 12, stand up. All the way down. Hold. Hold. 11. Go. 2. Watch 11 to your right. Go in early, mate. Don't go early. Hold it here. Hold. Go. 3. Good vocab, mate. Good. Stand up now, 10. All the way, gentlemen. Go. 4. Work with your left side. Step back. 5 and last. 10 up now. Hold here. Go. Inside, keep 10 metres in here. Keep 10 metres. One point, all the way down to 1, all the way 2. Oh, good. Go. 13 to your left. Luke, make sure we're with me. Off the ball. Good point. Get off him. Don't play on gentlemen. Go, 2. Good, better, much better. Draw the line. Don't go early, boys. 7. Don't play it on him. Don't play it on him. Go, 3. That's fine. Keep going. Off him now. Luke all the way. Go. 4. Yeah, boys. Good. That's forward, mate. That's forward. Good. Forward pass. Thanks, Ross. Good, mate. Good. Coming here. We're looking good here, Bailey. Keep pushing, mate. Keep working on that 10. We're just here, gentlemen. Thanks, boys. Make sure your left leg forward. Don't go early, okay? Yeah? I'm going now. Left to the go, core. Face the other sideline, okay? Body face the other sideline. 2 hands. Get that lock. Out. Four, release him. All the way, gentlemen. 6. Hold. Go, 1.
Thank you so much. I love you.
One more step.
We're going to focus on the action right now.
9 hands away. Go,
and it's going to be the Reds with the ball.
3 hands off. Don't work
I don't know if she's a fan of Guinness. But I guarantee she'll have a warning hand.
Knocked on. No, he's making the tackle. He's making the tackle, so he's playing at the ball. Knock forward. Just here, mate. Fine. Just work with that western lock. Make sure his head's in here, baby. We're in here, gentlemen. Don't go early. Alright, Dennis, I'm going now, mate. Make sure that match forward again. Lock. Right, boys, no early. Right in. That's good, boy, yeah? Yep, good now, 9. Out. All good.
10 minutes.
Off him there. Here we are. Hold. Go, 1. Mitchell, release the ball. Need you all the way, gents. Don't go early. Hold. Go. 3. Right side. 10, release. All the way to me. All the way, gentlemen. Go. 4. Just all the way to the front. To the left. Point out.
out of another tackle.
Luke, move away. Holding here. 7 all the way. 3. One more step. Go. 1. My turn, Bryce. My turn. Boom. Release him. Here with me. Luke. 4. Go. 2. 8. Stand up. All the way back. Go. 3. 1 marker.
Out the back, going down the half-back. Looks Jordan Williams. Kick, found touch. And it might be a 40-20. Is it inside the 20?
Okay, how's that now?
It's been given 40-20 there by the half-back Jordan Williams. Great kicking game.
Can you hear some ambient sound with the commentators? Bye.
And he seems to want to be in everything. That's something that you want, especially a fullback. You know, a lot of traits. It's very hard to be a Monday fullback with the passing game, the running game, and just try to interject yourself in everything.
Yeah, absolutely. You've sort of got to be a ball player these days. It's not just about cutting. So, I reckon you need Williams to...
Thanks for your trouble. Thank you for your trouble.
It's going to be the number 3 there in Zane Bajora from Queanbeyan United. Passing, I think it was that man, Jordan Williams. Great pass finding the man, and Monaro Colts first to score.
Bijorak's another one that's moved through the junior. He's even a few of the representative tournaments he's running off Williams.
But I have to have you here with me, Evan, because I've only seen a few of these blokes, so it's great to have your background knowledge on so many of these juniors coming through, especially in the country rugby league district. 4 points. It's going to be the number 2 for the Bay Tigers, Bateman's Bay rather.
There's just no time to put it on.
Trace Stewart.
Then we can't.
He's got the dreadlocks going.
The
A hairstyle that we don't see much of in the NRL at the moment. I think it was the last spell. We've got Kevin Proctor, but dreadlocks, no one really springs to mind.
Just a real tip for the young footballers.
Monaro scored by number 3, James Ridley.
Successful
Monaro
conversion from Trace
4,
Stewart.
Western 4.
Is that for you? Yeah, exactly. I mean, why not dye your hair pink? You know, that'll definitely make you stand out.
It certainly would make you stand out, Jim. You're very hard to miss with
Up.
I've seen the different varieties of. I see the number 9 here, Hayden Bradley, with the bandage and the blonde hair. I saw a couple of weeks ago the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. Therefore, Jake Brisbane with a similar haircut. We've seen different varieties of headgear. I know gear's handed to the players. Different colours of headgear. So definitely need to stand out, especially in such a hard-fought and competitive competition as we see the front row running there. Isaac Lanham for the Goulburn Workers. A short ball there. Callum Bauer-Scott. Monaro starting pretty well early on here. Getting in amongst the defence there, Harry Blake. Short in stature, but I'm going to show you he's probably got a big heart, Harry Blake.
Yeah, he plays at about 13.8 kilos ringing wet, Harry. There's not a lot of him, but he's got a massive heart, and he won't miss a tackle out there today.
They come to the right-hand side, big back rower, Jonah Latu. A lot of Queanbeyan boys out here today for the Monaro Colts, the under-18s, that is. Here's the half-back in Williams, who's been elusive early. Now comes away to Bauer-Scott, and it's 6 again called by the referee. So another set here in possession. He's been asked to play the football on the mark. Williams finds a running back rower that looks like Henry Bruce. Out of dummy half, and now to Atkinson, the captain. We saw 2 halfbacks, the captains of their last games, 2 forwards in this game. And here is that man, Parsons, running, dummying, diving and scoring. And well, they couldn't do much about that, the Western Rams. 8 points to 0 to the Colts, and Parsons gets over.
Yeah, couldn't talk Jack Hartwig into the hat-trick in the earlier game there, but we certainly talked Parsons into an early try. Ominous signs for the Western Rams. With Williams and Parsons controlling the action, they're looking very dangerous. Could be a cricket score on here.
And he's early in. 9 minutes gone. Parsons looking very dangerous. Good combination there with Bowles Scott, Williams. And from what I've seen in the last game, the spine of the Rams, the under-16s, are very important. And I think we're going to see that a lot here today. Parsons and Bowles Scott and Williams, very good combination.
Yeah, they're linking up well early here. It's sort of no surprise that these guys are on top of the ladder. 2 wins from their 3 games.
So we got Stewart, the man with the dreads, from Batesman's Bay. Out on the touchline. Unsuccessful again. Just away to the right-hand side. Where's there from the orange shirt, Nathan Smith. 8 points to 0, and well, I'm starting to feel the heat out here already. And we're luckily enough we're under shade. The sun isn't hitting us yet. The sun definitely going to play a factor here. What do the Rams need to do in the next 5 to 10 minutes to, obviously not defend or, try and get the ball in attack, but how do you think they're going to force an error here?
Oh, I don't think Coach McDonald will be too disappointed with this start. They haven't had a lot of possession. They've done a lot of defending, which hopefully doesn't tell too much in the back end of the game. But they basically just need to get a couple of sets with their hands on the pill, make Monaro do a bit of defending, and we've just seen a penalty blown there, so another set of 6 in defence.
Definitely those penalties aren't going to help. You see Matt Parsons out there just telling the boys, calm it down. Good sort of just calming nature he seems to have. I'm going to see, I think it's Bowles Scott to take the kick to touch, and the touch it goes, probably about 15 metres out. So the Colts looking to keep the pressure on here. Here is Bowles Scott, comes away to Jonah Latu. He's brought out about 10 metres away. Now through to the Aiton Atkinson, the captain. A bit of a dummy and a run here from Bradley close to the line. Trying to get his way over there. Bowles Scott, nice little grubber kick, but picked up well there as Zarin Galea. He's going to be dragged back, but good take and relieve the pressure somewhat there, Zarin Galea.
Yeah, good bit of defence covering up that kick there. It probably wasn't the right option early on in the set from Williams, which is unusual. You don't see him make a lot of poor decisions. So good result in the end for Monaro. Not the right option, but they've gotten away with it, and they'll heap a bit more pressure on the Rams.
So another set. And the dropout taken, and Bowles Scott, an awful bounce, but it comes away to the 10. And Isaac Landhammond again, physical. 3 men trying to put him down. Bowles Scott, dummy run. And he looks like a big fella, breaks a tackle. Hard running 5'8". Connor Bowles Scott. Out to the left-hand side, Williams. Cuts it away. And if he held onto the ball there, Angus Marshall, he was in. Drop football and the pressure relieved there. Well, for the meantime, for the Rams.
Yeah, very fortunate there, the Rams. That was the right option from Williams. He drifted across field and looked to put his centre into a massive hole there. He just needed to hang on to the ball, and he was across the stripe. So, bit of a let-off for the Rams, and they'll come away from their own line. Definitely
a let-off, because they're saying the drop ball happened in the in-goal, which results in the 20-metre tap. And the 0 tackle as we see the 3 in, it's Brock Naden here. So it's only the second tackle, and they're out over halfway already. Dennis Spathis. What do you refer to Spathis as?
He's an absolute enigma, that kid. He came up to the trials. All the players were required to list their club and where they'd played, and Dennis rocked up with no information, no club, not much, but didn't really know anything about him. And he certainly made the selectors sit up and take notice straight away.
Dennis Bathurst, look out for him. The enigma is the 15 in Aaron Mawini. Takes it up from Forbes Magpies. Last tackle. Out it comes away to Board. Crossfield kick. We might see a bit of action here for the two. He's going to be taken in the air. So Brock Naden, according to the referee, tackling him in the air. Thought we were going to see Spathis there, but penalty given away by the Rams. And definitely that they pinned him down in this area of the field, but a penalty given away, not what they wanted.
No, absolutely not. I'm a bit iffy on that one. I don't like to criticise the referees. I think they do a really good job, but I don't know, it looked like Naden might have timed his tackle pretty well there, and maybe perhaps a bit unlucky, the Western Rams.
The Colts to work it out from their own end. Hayden Bradley, they're a dummy half away to Williams. Carrying defenders. That looks like Ryan Dodson, who's made his way onto the field from the Goulburn Workers. And again, another penalty. Markinot square, possibly holding down in the tackle. And again, another piggyback penalty. Poor discipline costing them.
Yeah, it's the complete reverse of the earlier fixture. This time it's the Rams that are just too ill-disciplined. They're giving Monaro way too much ball and starting to mount. You can see a few of the Rams boys out there walking a little bit. They've had to do a lot of tackling, and it's going to take its toll in the next 20 minutes or so.
A strong run there from Henry Bruce. Definitely trying to break the line. Williams and now Cahill. Probably about short of the 20. Bradley. Through the captain now. Balber Scott out the back. Parsons. Good pass. And here is Bajorak, who gave it away. And Cooper O'Connor, second time, he's just short. Second tackle restart. Oh. And Dennis Spath is tapping it on that tram line instead of in the middle. Do you have any background information? How many years experience Dennis Bathurst has as we unfortunately see a player go down for the Colts?
Yeah, look, Jim, I've got to tell you, he's an enigma. I don't know a heap about the kid. He's just come from the clouds, and it's good to see him in the team. He's playing at Condo this year with the Condobolin Rams, which will be good. A real boost for the town there, and yeah, good to see him getting a bit wider exposure with this sort of football.
We'll try and find out the information of the player going down. Important for the players to keep hydrated on such a hot day.
Yeah, this is a really good thing for the Rams. They've had to do a heap of defence, and a bit unfortunate for the player that's gone down there, but a very welcome respite for the Rams boys. They'll suck the water in and have a bit of a blow, and they come away from their own end with the ball.
We'll get information on that player that's gone down. Bailey Hitchcock from Queen Bee and Kangaroos looking to come on as the replacement. Clutching the arms, that doesn't look good. It looks like James Cahill who's come off. So Bailey Hitchcock coming on for James Cahill. Interested to see if he comes back. But a bit of rest for the Rams. What can we see here from them? As Mawini try to fend off a few. He's brought down. And he's lost the football. Fresh on the field, Aaron Mawini. And just when we thought the break in play would do them good, they've lost the football, turnover possession.
Yeah, certainly not good for the Rams there. Mawini, the kid from Grenfell, coming out from his own end, a little bit sloppy in the play of the ball. And certainly not what the team needed. They just got a bit of a breather and had a bit of possession. One of their first sort of sets in attack, or sets with the ball for this half. So definitely not what they wanted at this stage.
So off the scrum, and number 3, Zane Bajorak. He's looked very good early on. Looking for that quick play. The ball back on the mark, so good to see there. And here is the 15, Bailey Hitchcock. Brought down by 3 defenders. Bradley. Now Williams out for Parsons. Running and passing, giving it away to the number 2 in Trey Stewart. And he's got it down. Great simple backline movement there. Williams, Parsons, Stewart in the corner. And that's their third try.
Yeah, very ominous signs for the Rams there. You know, as soon as you hear Parsons and Williams in the same sentence, something's happening. And, yeah, a couple of times they've linked up now for a couple of meat pies. So the Rams will need to get up and shut them down. Otherwise, we could be looking at an absolute mountain of points here.
Well, the good thing for the Rams is we see Tyrone Harrison about to make his way onto the field. They haven't converted any tries. They haven't converted it into 6 points. So we've got, it might be the number 8, Mitchell Atkinson, it looks like, to take a shot. Change of kicker. Well, he's the captain. I know I was the captain for my football team. I always like to take the reins as the goal kicker. But it is quite a tough angle. Again, he's brought it a long way back to open up that angle. About 26 metres out, hugging that touchline. And Trey Stewart unsuccessful with his first 2. And Captain thought he'd take the opportunity to try and convert this one. Strikes it with the left boot, and it's just away. No! Well, I'd ridden him off before he even kicked the ball, but he's got it in between the sticks.
That's absolute genius from the captain there. You don't see enough of it in the modern game, goal-kicking front rowers, but he's obviously a very clever man. He's put his hand up to take the kick, which then in turn means that he doesn't have to cut the ball back off the kickoff here. He gets to sit on the 40 and have a bit of a breather, so no one's going to tell me he's not a silly man.
You look at the modern kicking front rowers, probably CSC Watake Aho comes to mind. He's the number 1 kicker there at the Roosters. And probably some of my favourite goal kickers, Craig Fitzgibbon, he was a phenomenal goal kicker. So it isn't seen a lot in the modern game, and maybe we should see a bit more of it. And they try and work it away. Callum Scott getting involved in the action once again. That's the 14, Mitchell Salter on. The Colts 14-0. We're just a little over halfway. He's Parsons breaking the tackle again. Jonah Latu, he's been very good. Bradley, Williams, cut out ball. They find a bit of space and get the offload away. And here's Angus Marshall. He's brought down 35 metres out from the line. Here's Bruce. Strong on the left side for Monaro. Here's Williams. Sizes up the kick cross field. We've got chasers. But it's the fullback in Benjamin Gleeson from Parks Baseman who cleans up the scraps there for the Rams. Matt Parsons doing a lot of talking here. The Rams working it out from their own end. Maybe needing a penalty to get them out of their own end. Look to make a break down the the right-hand side. Side furthest from us. Over the 40 now as it comes to the last tackle. And it's Woolno. No, they've called play on Woolno with the knock on. But good awareness there from Isaac Lanham.
Yeah, great bit of awareness there. Again, Rams coming out of their own end, another mistake. It's pretty simple game, football. They just need to tighten it up here. Too many errors.
And here is the captain, Atkinson, putting his hand up. And it doesn't look good for James Cahill. He's got ice on the shoulder and the jumper off, so it looks like he will not be back.
I'd say Hitchcock might have to play a few extra minutes here today. He's had good impact. He's come off the bench and he's had a couple of really strong carries, so we'll have to see what he's going to attack. And as I say that, he's carting the ball up and he's dropped it, but we got a strip penalty. So, yeah, he'll be looking to play some big minutes. Doesn't look like Cahill's going to return, but I'll get some more word on that in a minute.
Now, I know 14 to 16 doesn't make a lot of sense, but would you try and take time off the clock at all? Well, they're going to go with the tap, but would it be too silly to take the 2?
Yeah, I think just the way they've been attacking the line and the amount of possession they've had, you've got to go for the 6 here. Different circumstances, you'd certainly look to the guaranteed 2 points. But again, we see Williams and Parsons linking up down that left edge. Better defence that time from the Rams, though.
And definitely Parsons brought down to within a metre of the line. I'll come the wide side here with Williams. Great ball there. Comes to Hitchcock. Trying to get an offload away, and he's knocked it on. So, again, the ball knocking on over the dead ball line. They're giving that 20 metres. Is that an initiative in the country rugby league ranks?
Knock on in the in goal there. It's 20-metre restart. So, bit unlucky there, Monaro. It looked like a good ball from Williams. He looked to have put Hitchcock into space, and good defence scrambling from the Rams. Hitchcock threw the flick pass, and fortunately for the Rams, it didn't go to hand, and they've got the ball coming out of their own end.
So Brad Fernley brought to ground by 3, but he's lost the football. And they seem like a really talkative bunch, this Monaro Colts. So I've seen the talking out the back by Matt Parsons. Communication, one of the things that's very underrated in a fullback's game. We think about, the tries and the try assists and the speed, the strength, but communication is one thing that is vital, especially in defence.
Yeah, he's a real general at the back there, Parsons. He talks plenty and directs his team around the field.
Evan seems like he needs a drink of water. It's a long day out here. It's a great day. Still no cloud cover around. It is a picture-perfect day. A tad hot for my liking, but a great day for rugby league. As we see Parsons again, is he going to link up there with Stewart? No, we're going to see the 14. So Souter is now on. Hayden Brayley coming from the field. Williams now away for Lanham. Can the Colts come up with more points now? Dodson. 5 metres out. To the short side they come. Bauer Scott dummies, tries to go himself. Great legs tackle there by Brad Fernley. The man that's just come on, Souter. Left-hand side Parsons. Now away Williams. Trey Stewart looking for it, but it's gone over the sideline, out on the floor, so to be a play the ball 10 metres out. Right idea there from Jordan Williams.
Yeah, much better defence there too from the Rams. He was looking for Trey out on the wing there again, and the kick was just a little bit overcooked. But great scrambling defence. Brad Fernley, a beautiful tackle on Bauer Scott as he took on the line.
So the Rams to work it away from their end, and this will help a penalty. I don't think they've got a penalty all game, so this will definitely help them get them out of their end as the ball comes straight to us. Just short. I thought we were in trouble there, Evan.
Yeah, we were going to get our hands on the pill and look to do something with it there, but as you said, she's bounced just short and back in action.
Now here we go, the number 12, Brad Fernley. And good, strong tackle. He gets one back on him there, Callum Bauer-Scott. The tackle previously there, Adam Fernley got a shot on. Here's the 13, Luke Bain, the captain. Trying to direct his troops. Lead by example. Good short ball there, and this is the 17, Tyrone Harrison. Decent field position here as they come along. Good pass there, and it's the winger who's come in, Zarin Galea. Well, he might be at fullback at the moment. Here's the 14, trying to get Bauer-Scott offside, and that's it's a high tackle, sorry. Probably should have been called offside, Bauer-Scott, but they're going to go with the high tackle. Got to use the ball well here.
Yeah, big opportunity for the Rams to strike back here. It's the first bit of decent possession they've had up that end of the field, so they'll be looking to turn this into points.
So it's Woolno as they go through the hands, over the top of Blake. And the ball, he's been called offside here, I think. No, a strip. And a tap and go here from Matt Parsons. No, Trey Stewart. We're not at a great vantage point here. We're trying to give you the best action possible. Possibly touch there. Yes, 6 to go. In open space now. And again, it's Stewart gets the offload away. It comes to Angus Marshall trying to show his outside speed. 30 metres away. And it's only the first tackle. So here's Williams. He hands it off to Dodson. Plenty of time to make something happen. They come out the back. Here's Parsons. Ran in front of the number 11 there, Latu, so no obstruction called by the referee. Sauter surveys the options. They come the left-hand side through their hands now. Williams, and here's the 4. Is it Angus Marshall? And he's short of the line. Short side, Williams kicks, and it's just gone dead. It looks to be just a bit short of the in-goals here.
Yeah, very reminiscent of the old Olympic Park in Melbourne. They had a very short in-goal down there, and Melbourne used it to full advantage, the home ground advantage and knowledge of that. Stood him in pretty good stead. So, yeah, Monaro's had a couple of kicks rolled dead, which has been fortunate for Western Rams, and hopefully they can hang on to the ball and capitalise here.
Reminds me of the Super League Grand Final. They typically play at Old Trafford. Very short in-goals. Normally it's a soccer field, and again, an incorrect play the ball. They've had great possession over the last couple of minutes, and they got into the half of the Colts, but unfortunately giving away the ball again in such a crucial area.
Yeah, it's that play the ball penalty again. We've seen it permeate through the NRL and now into the CRL. Obviously the referee's on a bit of a mandate there. How long do you reckon this crackdown will last?
Well, some say 6 weeks, as we see Tony Mika Eli, and boy, he looks like a big unit. The number 20 in the black headgear, you won't miss him at all. Here's Parsons, out the back, Williams, shows to one, dummies goes himself, flick pass out the back. Marshall looks for support, going to go himself. Runs towards the other side of the field, breaks the tackle, he's brought down. Good defence again there. Brad Fernley, left-hand side, and here it comes the big fella. Tony Mika Eli, short of the line. Left-hand side, Bauer Scott looks for the short ball, great defence. They're going to call him offside. Great defence there, Campbell Woolno. But again, pressure on the line.
Yeah, that's the absolute last thing the Rams needed there. It was a penalty late in the set. They defended 5 tackles and given away another set now. I wouldn't be surprised if Monaro go in here.
And they're going to look for the man. No, I thought Tony Mika Eli was going to get the ball there, but it's Bailey Hitchcock. 5 minutes to go until half-time in the opening half of the under-18s competition, the Laurie Daley Cup between the Monaro Colts and the Western Rams. It's been called held up here. I think, is that Angus Marshall out there on the left-hand side? No, it's the number 12, Henry Bruce. Has been very strong on the left-hand side. So through Dodson. Now for Bauer Scott out the back. Parsons. Here we go to Bajorak. Brought down 5 from the line. Parsons. Looks like Jonah Latu. Short play there. Bauer Scott. Dummies goes himself. Good legs tackle by the 17 in Tyrone Harrison. Left-hand side. Williams cut out. Stewart. Good handwork there. Tried to bury his way over, but last tackle, not the right option there.
Yeah, no. Trying to run it on the last there. It was probably a good ball. Just needed to be out in front of him a little bit, and they might have stretched the Rams. But good defence again from the Rams. They've certainly picked up their game this back half of the first half. So, yeah, something to build on for the second half.
And they definitely need to work it out from their end here. Maybe a bit of magic from someone. Through the hands, and Brad Fernley, he's been good. Wrapped up there, him and Bauer Scott have been at it all day. As we make a breakthrough here, here goes Josh Board. He makes the pass here, and Zarin Galea just unable to break into the clear. Good tackle there. And now the left-hand side. Here goes the Enigma himself. Flicks it back in. They're going to call it forward. And we've seen Zarin Galea, what seems to go back to fullback, and Galea and Spathis almost linking up there. It looked pretty exciting.
There's been a few shifts there. It actually, yeah, it looks like Galea's playing in the left centre there, but that was a great break from Josh Board. He saw a bit of an opening around dummy half and took off through it. And I got to tell you, O'Connor must be absolute lightning because there aren't many people that would run down Zarin Galea from behind. He seemed to do it with ease.
Just unable to break into the clear. As we have 3 minutes remaining, 14 points to nil. The Monaro Colts over the Western Rams in the Laurie Daley Cup. Just take all the time they need to in this scrub to wind down the clock. Seconds ticking down to half time. Here goes Trey Stewart. He's been very impressive there on that left edge for the Colts. And amongst it was Tyrone Harrison. Left-hand side they come again with Angus Marshall. Around the legs was Blake. Now the forward's taking it up again. Dodson, he's been solid off the bench. But a lost ball with 50 seconds on the clock. Needs to be a bit more urgency. Or will they be happy to go half-time 14-0?
Yeah, look, they'll definitely be trying to put something on here. I mean, you don't want to make a mistake and let Monaro in again, but some points would go a long way for the Rams. I don't know if they'll get across the stripe with only 30 seconds to go. Doesn't seem to be a whole heap of urgency packing the scrum, but yeah, I think goal kicking's probably kept them in the contest a bit. 18-0 would look a lot worse at half-time.
Well, we saw a trick play for the Rams in the under-16s. They're going to reset the scrum here. Are you looking for a kick to Dennis Spathis out here on the wing?
Yeah, Spathis and Galea out here, plenty of speed. We'll see what they put on.
And here we go. Oh, big hit. Looking for Spathis, but Naden's just going to hold the ball himself. And he's just going to play safe football. So a very entertaining half of football, very, very physical, between the Monaro Colts and the Western Rams in this under-18s Laurie Daley Cup competition for the country championships. What do both coaches say at half-time? Well, will the Rams coach be happy with their performance? You know, defensively they've scrambled pretty well. A few early tries. They've been much better in the second half of that first half.
Yeah, definitely. They worked their way back into the game the back end of that half. Their defence was outstanding. They just cruelled themselves with drop ball, giving Monaro way too much possession. I think Macca will look at the positives. He'll look at their defence as a real shining light through that half and hopefully build on that from there. And in the Monaro sheds, we're sitting just by them. It's a pretty positive vibe coming out of there at the moment. They're probably just looking to complete the fifth tackle options a bit better. They attacked pretty well through that half and had a mountain of ball, and a couple of really good opportunities went away. So they'll be looking not to squander those opportunities as the second half and put on some more points.
And we got the score at 14 points to nil. The Monaro Colts over the Western Rams. Can the Rams come back? Find out in the second half. We'll be back with you shortly. Well, we're almost halfway through the action today. 4 games we're bringing you. The Monaro Colts and the Western Rams both in the Laurie Daley Cup and the Andrew Johns Cup. The Andrew Johns Cup is already finished. We had the Rams get up there and they're 4 and zip. They look to be going to the semi-finals. And in this game we have the Monaro Colts and the Western Rams. The Colts, they lead 14 points to 0 at half-time. I'm joined by my co-commentator, Mr. Evan. What's your last name, mate? Sorry.
Jones.
Evan Jones. Makes it a lot easier. I'm James Robertson, joined by Evan Jones. And the first half there, I've just got, the spine cohesion was very good from the Colts. Support play that we heard from the coach at half-time. Good support play. They were always having at least one player pushing up in support. The captain, Mitch Atkinson, he was really good. Anything else to add to that?
Yeah, no, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Jim. They're probably, as we said before, they'll look to complete their sets a little better, but pretty positive word coming out of the dressing sheds there from Monaro. They're not going to want to change up too much. If they can score 14 points in this half and keep Rams to 0, they're going to go a long way to winning the game.
One thing I really like from the coach, that the job isn't done. We're halfway to winning, but the job isn't done. I'll almost treat this like a new half of football, a new game of football, 0-0, like they used to say.
Yeah, certainly. Like 35 minutes is a long time in football. We spoke of it earlier when you were alluding to whether Monaro could come back in the last 8 minutes. So Rams have got 35 minutes here to score 15 points better than their opposition.
And Trey Stewart. So they're only down by 3 converted tries, and for the Rams, who are they going to look to for that inspiration? Obviously, their captain Luke Bain and their halves, but who do they look for that added spark that they need to score those 14 points or more to go on to win this game?
Yeah, they're going to look to probably Josh Board. We saw a bit of it at the back end of that first half. He made a good break out of dummy half there and linked up with his left edge attackers. So he's probably the key man for them if they're going to try and find 3 tries here.
And just waiting on the Western Rams to make their way onto the paddock here. Live from Roberts Park in Harden. And how did you make your way out here? Whereabouts are you from? How long was the trip?
Yeah, I'm based in Bathurst. I popped over this morning, drove down, and it was a beautiful drive through very pleasant countryside. Went through the town of Wombat, lovely little pub there that I might even have to stop at quickly for a bottle of water on the way home.
A bottle of water, no alcohol. Good stuff there. Myself, I'm from Penrith, so it was a 3.5-4 hour trip. But yeah, beautiful countryside. We're here. It's a very scenic view. Something normally with stadiums, especially in the bigger leagues like the NRL, you see the grandstands. But it's good to see rugby league come out to these smaller venues. You saw the Charity Shield that was played out in countryside as well. Do you think NRL should bring games out to, well, maybe not a park football ground like this, but out to countryside grounds more often?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the things that they've looked to do this year with the traditional country city origin fixture not being played this year. The NRL's moved more games out into the bush areas, and it's a great initiative. Nothing beats bush footy. Like, we're playing here in Harden today. We've got gum trees as a backdrop. Like, it just doesn't get any better.
And as I said before, we still haven't... There's no clouds in the sky whatsoever. It is completely blue. And thank goodness we've been in shade for this whole time. So the heat isn't affecting us as much as it might be the players. But they're going to have to battle on for another 35 minutes in this second half as we see the lock forward there in Luke Bain, the captain, get to within halfway. And the man, Board, just dropping the football here, unfortunately, and the Colts are going to get early possession inside the half of the Rams.
Yeah, that's probably my fault again there, that one. I mentioned Bordy as being a bit of a key for the Rams in the second half here, and sure enough, the commentator's curse has struck again. First touch of the footy, and he spilled his lollies.
Now, we see a lot of Dubbo, Orange, Bathurst here for the Western Rams, and a lot of Golden Workers here, Bateman's Bay Tigers for the Colts. How much do the the little team cohesion between those players that have played together before, the sort of combinations, how much does that impact the way that these teams play at a representative level?
Yeah, it's huge. Obviously, with the rep footy, you don't get as much time together. So any sort of cohesion between players there is very welcome. It's one of the real disadvantages Western Rams always have to face, in that the geographical area is the biggest in the country rugby league. So you've got players from Blackheath and as far as Broken Hill. So getting together in a central location for training is always going to be difficult.
As we see, Matt Parsons with a spectacular cutout pass. Trey Stewart goes over. I believe that's his second try today. He missed his first 2 conversion attempts, but he's made up for it with the 2 tries in the corner.
Yeah, he's looked very dangerous down there. That left edge is phenomenal for Monaro. And again, first bit of possession they have in the second half, and they've found Trey out wide there. So another good try to him.
Yeah, it's a massive contrast. You see the Rams, they look pretty good, and then they drop the football, unfortunately. But their first use of the football in the second half, the Colts, they know where the ball has to go.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're too good a side. The Rams can't be dropping the ball 30 metres out from their own line and not expect to be punished for it. So, yeah, just another mistake leading to points there, and I'll need to tighten it up.
So it looks like with those 2 tries, he's been given the kicking boots back. This one probably the most difficult we've seen today. There's been a few on the touchline. 0 from 2, can he throw one over here from very wide out? Add to his 2 tries. Looks pretty good off the boot. And well, like we said, when we don't back the kickers, that's generally when they're kicking at their best.
Yeah, that was a beautiful strike from Trey there. Trey Stewart, he's converted his own try. I've still got a pretty sneaky suspicion that Acco might have taken that shot at goal in the first half just for a breather.
Yeah, well, it was a very smart strategy. He spoke about not having to go back and take the hit up. But he got it from the sideline. I didn't back him in to get it. But we've got a 20 points to nil scoreline, and the Colts are looking very good here. There's a hit up by the number 15 in Bailey Hitchcock. He came on for the injured James Cahill, and he's a big favourite of mine. Tony Mika Eli, the big fella, the number 20. And a nice play the ball to boot. Here's Hitchcock's second hit up of the match. Second hit up of the set, rather. There's a penalty. Just holding on a bit too long. And what do the Colts look for here? Are they just looking to build pressure, or are they going to go full out attack and look to score more points?
They're going to keep doing what they've been doing. Another try here, and I know it's early on, but it'll be very, very hard for the Rams to come back. Wasn't that a great hit-up? We saw the biggest man on the field running at the smallest man in Harry Blake, and Blake, to his credit, brought him to ground.
But the thing I like to see most about Tony Mika Eli, very good sound play the ball. You don't see that in a lot of big men these days.
No, he's very careful with the pill that time, wasn't he? And he's going to cross here, the big fella, surely.
Well, he looks like he definitely wants a meat pie. The ref going back, but no, he's just short of the line. They come to the right-hand side. Bowers Scott hands it away to the 11 and Jonah Latu. And he's short of the line. There are blades of grass in it. Bowers Scott looking for Williams. Dummies, runs himself underneath the post. And that battle he's had with Bradley Fernley all in that first half. He goes towards the middle of the field and he finds a bit of space and he gets over.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of joy trying to run through Fernley, so he's run a bit wide of him there, found space up the middle of the field, took the line on and crossed for a good try. But that's been a great battle, the two of them going hammer and tong the whole game. Western, to their credit, have defended so well. They've been really trying. It's just a weight of work that's weighing them down at the moment.
So the number 6 there, Callum Bowers Scott, the vice-captain, out of the B Roosters. And Trey Stewart has permanently been given back the kicking boots. Atkinson said thanks for the 2 points, but here you go. Have the kicking tee again. And this one, much less difficult than his 3 previous attempts. But we won't say anything. We don't want to put the monkey on him. We'll do it after he's kicked a beautiful goal straight in between the uprights. 26 points to nil. 6 scored in the second half.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised there. I thought as the captain, the big front rower might have taken the guaranteed 2 from right in front, but he's let his winger have the kick. Yeah, pretty surprised about that.
Well, that's what I did a lot of. The easy kicks I took and the harder ones, I didn't want to harm the 100% record. So I think the captain, he definitely wants to keep that 100% record intact.
Yeah, I reckon you've struck on something there, Jim. He's seen his perfect kicking game there in front of him, and he won't want to ruin that, even with a guaranteed 2 in front.
And I reckon if you can add a meat pie, a try to that, he'll be pretty happy with himself.
You're liking the big fella to cross today.
Oh, well, look, I always like to see the front rowers get across the strip. If Tony Maker-Eli gets across, or, Atco, Isaac Lanham, there's a plethora of choices. For the 14 in Mitchell Souter to the left-hand side, and here is Bauer Scott with a phenomenal kick. Right inside that 10-metre zone. It'll be a 10-metre scrum to the Rams, but what about the class there from Bauer Scott?
I'll tell you what, he's really come into his own as this game's gone on. It looked like all Williams directing play and the danger man for Monaro before, but as the game's progressed, Bauer Scott's got smarter and smarter with his play. We see a fantastic 5th tackle option there. They worked it out of their own end, and he's found touch about a metre out from the Rams line. Beautiful football.
And I'm pretty sure he was the man to score to kick the 40-20 earlier on. Probably 5 minutes into the game, so phenomenal kicking display. Well, the Rams with the scrum here. Let's see if they can work it away from their own end. It has been tough work here from the Rams. See a run here, and in amongst the tacklers there is Trey Stewart. Trying to get a penalty of some sort. Good cutout pass, good offload. Bit of speed there from the Rams, but brought down. Big physical hit. Looking for the offload there was Bain. Going to be asked to play the football short of halfway. Here is Blake. Puts it deep down, but again, fielded well there from Matt Parsons. And he's going to look for the support in Trey Stewart. Goes with him, but takes the ball himself. Wrapped up 20 metres out. Good set there from the Rams.
Yeah, finally completed one there, which was good. Give them a bit of field position here. We see Monaro working it out from their own end. It's the only thing that's been crewing them, really, and a bit more of that early would have been very helpful.
And here goes Stewart again. As we see the number 20 come off the field. Here's Bauer Scott. Looks inside. Great ball. Here goes Bajorak. It looks to have gone to fullback. Matt Parsons will streak away. It was the outside dummy, the inside ball to Bajorak, and Matt Parsons finishes off a tremendous play there from the Monaro Colts, 30 points to nil.
Well, I said it earlier. I said Parsons didn't cross the stripe. I'm not here, and there he is. He grabs his 4-pointer, but again, that was Bauer Scott taking the line on. He turned the ball back inside to Bajorak. It was a beautiful break there, and he's looking good for man of the match, I reckon, Bauer Scott.
We saw that last night from James Roberts going in towards the middle of the field, the speed. Great play there by Bajorak. Noticed there was maybe a few tired defenders in towards the middle, and like they said at halftime, the coach was speaking about support play. Having that one player always supporting. They had Bajorak support the 5'8" in Bauer Scott, and then Parsons linking up on the inside, knew the job wasn't finished, and scores a great try. And now we see the front rower taking a kick. Nice smack bang in front. Do you have him getting this one?
Oh, he'll throw this one over. I don't reckon he realised the last conversion was in front. Otherwise, he would have taken it off the winger for sure. So I think he's worked this one out. He's seen him put it down under the sticks, and he's called for the pill.
Well, we're next to the Monaro Colts bench, and I have a feeling that someone's let him know that we're on to him here, but he's going to take the kicker goal. And perhaps him and Trey Stewart sharing the conversions. But there's no toe poke. It's a nice side boot. Goes over 32 points to 0, and looks like it's going to be a long 24 minutes if they don't smarten up their act, the Rams.
Yeah, they're starting to run away with it a little bit here, Monaro, but we noticed Big Mac, he's walking back to the 40. He's going to have an extended blow here, Acco. So was it the 2 points or the blow that he was after there, do you reckon?
Oh, well, a bit of both. The 2 points is handy, but the rest, especially in a hot day, he seems like that sort of guy that will play the full 70 minutes. For a front rower, it's tough stuff. It definitely is. So any rest he can get is, great for him.
Yeah, definitely, and we see him taking a big hit up there this set. That blow's obviously done him well, so he's, as you said, it's a big effort for the front rower to play the full 70, and he's a fairly large boy, so working pretty hard out there today.
And here's Ryan Dodson at halfway. Be sure to stick around for the Riverina Bulls and the Penrith Panthers in the Andrew Johns Cup following this match. And then our main event following that game will be the under-18s, the Laurie Daley Cup. The same two teams playing the Riverina Bulls as Williams tried to get the offload away, thought he was going to make it there to Henry Bruce. But nice intercept there. And Rams just getting possession. But they look very tired at the moment.
Yeah, certainly. All that defensive work they've done earlier in the game's taking its toll. They certainly look like they're working pretty hard in attack. A lot of boys out there walking. And they've got a penalty here, which will release a bit of pressure. But, they just need more possession, a bit less time tackling.
Kicking and touch there by Harry Blake. And here goes the 16 in Nick Booth from Bathurst St. Pat's. Yet to see Nathan Swain on the field. For the Western Rams is Mawinni. Good quick play the ball. Left-hand side with Board. He links up there with Fernley. That battle with Bauer Scott. Right-hand side they come through the hands, and it looks like the number 9 in Haycock might be playing at the fullback position. To the open side they come, Woolno, short ball. And he almost got over there, did Mawinni. Woolno, crossfield kick. They're both up in the air. And it's going to be a knock-on here from the Rams. Good little kick over the top, but unfortunately unable to convert. And be a ball here for the Colts.
Yeah, pretty frustrating stuff that for the Rams. It was good attacking set and shows what they're capable of when they get a bit of field position and get their hands on the ball. Fernley nearly looked like he was going to make a break down that left edge, and he's had a very good game. He's probably been the Rams' best today, I'd say. And yeah, just frustration that it hasn't been like that for the whole game, though. We see they're going to get another opportunity here.
Yeah, lost ball there by Isaac Lanham. Now, I've noticed out the back here, we've had Benjamin Gleeson, Brock Naden now, Kobe Peckham, Paddy Haycock. We've seen a number of changes there at the fullback position. Does that at all change the way you play? Like, it must be very disrupting having a number of players sort of out the back.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Benji Gleeson's a bit of a superstar for the Rams there and a very good fullback. So Naden slotting in, he's a very handy footballer in his own right. But they're certainly missing him at the back there today.
Harry Blake to... Oh, well, that's not Harry Blake. I thought I saw the 6 on his jumper, but he's Bored. Gets the offload away. To the left-hand side, they come with Tyrone Harrison, and he might have got over here. There's a bit of push and shove. Don't know whether or not he got over. Just trying to clear this up, the referees. I didn't see what went on there. Did you get a glimpse of what happened?
I'm not sure what kicked it off, but pretty silly stuff there from, I don't know who's in the middle there. Looks like Bordy, the second smallest bloke on the field. Very silly stuff from a halfback, but Harrison barging his way over there. He's a big man, hard to stop from that far out. A good try. I think he's bagged a couple this country championships, and when you get him in a bit of space that far out from the line, there's not many people that'll slow him up.
Well, very silly stuff there. I think it's a bit of frustration creeping in the Rams as well. Monaro, they're up by 28 points. Definitely would be playing on the minds of the Rams. Knew that they could, maybe play a bit better than they did today.
Yeah, absolutely. Just frustrating, probably, their performance. I'm sure Paul McDonald, the coach, will be a little bit disappointed about the way the game's panned out so far. We see Harrison getting a bit of a talking to from the ref. So not too much in, a bit of push and shove. Not really what you want to see at this stage of the day. It's been a pretty good game of footy up until this point, so hopefully that's the end of it.
I didn't manage to see who is taking the conversion attempt from Brock Naden, my expert analyst here. Knows a lot about these boys, the Western Rams, as he moves in between the sticks. Now, there's 19 minutes left. I know it is a very steep hill to climb, more than 4 converted tries, but if anything, they just need to get points on the board. For it against might come into it, coming into the finals. Do they just look to score as many points as they can?
Yeah, I think so. I think St Patrick's Day and all, but I think they'll need more than the luck of the Irish to get them home here. There's a bit too much work to be done, but yeah, they'll want to do it for Paul. They'll want to finish pretty strongly here, and Harrison, big strong carry back there, and they want to finish on a positive note.
And great news here. James Cahill looks to come back into the action. He was off with ice wrapped around his shoulder. Looks to be A-OK to come back into the fray of the game. Here's Josh Borden. You said he was the second shortest player in the Rams side, but boy, he packs a punch. He's got good footwork, good speed, as we see some speed out of dummy half there. I think it was Campbell Woolno. They come away, and here is Harry Blake on the last. Looking for the 40-20, but Trey Stewart wraps it up pretty nicely. He has Parsons there in support, doesn't need him. He pushes one away. Looks to push another away. The two halves combine. And then over the top was Thomas Stimpson. The Colts just trying to run it away from their own line. Looking for a quick play. The ball is Dodson. He gets it. And he's Souter. And a huge hit there. And again, it's that man, the number 17, Tyrone Harrison, in amongst it. There is James Cahill. That'll be Henry Bruce. Parsons, Williams. There he is, Cahill. Last tackle. Look to be putting it up high is Williams. Torp end over end. Call it what you like. It was a bit awkward, but a good bounce there for the Rams. They'll come out to the 20.
Yeah, beautiful kick, that, the old Torp bomb. Naden will be breathing a bit of a sigh of relief. It took a bad bounce for Monaro there and rolled dead, and will give the Rams 7 tackles here. But yeah, Naden, not a lot you can do about those ones sometimes, and he'll be breathing a bit better now.
Would you want to take a bomb like that? You know, we saw last night, again in the NRL, or you watch rugby league and you see that the ball bounces wickedly.
I've got to tell you, Jim, in my playing days, I was a front row forward, so if I was under a bomb, I was very nervous.
A good offload there. Thought it might have been called forward, but called offside. Good offload. They were looking there for Thomas Stimpson, the man in the yellow headgear, and quickly played on there by Harry Blake of the Ningen Tigers. 16 minutes to go in this under-18s Laurie Daley Cup contest between the Monaro Colts and the Western Rams for the country championships. It comes to the 16 in Nick Booth. They're going to look for something here. Some points would be nice. Woolno, Board, right out the back away to that man Zarin Galea. Galea and Spathis back on the same side. And a penalty called here. Hands in the ruck. They'll look to tap and go here, you would think, yes. And the 17 again, Tyrone Harrison gets over. And, well, you spoke about it before. He scored a few tries in the country championships. He's gotten over for a double here.
Yeah, he's an absolute handful that far out, isn't he? He's a big boy, Tyrone, and just caught the Monaro defence napping a little bit there. A little bit of complacency slipping in, which can happen when you got a 22-point lead late in the game. He caught them napping and took full advantage, Tyrone.
And the coach at the Colts not very happy. Definitely some complacency slipping through, but we've got 14 minutes, 4 converted tries needed. Again, I said a steep hill to climb, but they almost look like they're up and about here. There's a lot of talking going on. Do you think that they think there's still a chance in this one?
Oh, I think they'd want to give themselves a chance. You don't want to give it away, especially 15 minutes remaining. It's plenty of time. But they're showing a lot more positive signs, and I think that's been reflected because they've had a lot more possession this half. Some of the penalties have started going the way of the Rams. A couple of errors from the Monaro team, and a bit of field position and ball in hand. They're showing what they're capable of.
Look at the Laurie Daley Cup. Monaro Colts sitting in second position. This is as of the end of round 3, and the Western Rams, they've got 1 win, so it seems to be very, very close in this southern pool, so really it could be anyone's contest as it comes into the semi-finals.
Yeah, I think it's obviously very tight, just 1 point separating the top 4 sides there, top 5 sides, so unfortunately this loss, should it eventuate for the Rams, that'll mean the end of their campaign. They'll have the game next week, but no prospect of the semis, whereas Monaro now, if they take away the 2 points, they'll be building towards a semi-final in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, and definitely we have round 5 action. The Panthers take on the Colts in Goulburn, and as for the Western Rams, they will take on the GSR West Tigers in Camden. You can catch both those games live on Facebook Live through Bar TV, and we'd like to thank Bar TV Sports for allowing us to bring you the action of this great championship. So the Rams with it, late in the tackle count, looking for it, and Trey Stewart with a great interception. Just great anticipation there for the wing. He's been really good, especially in the second half, as we see the halfback Williams using his speed. It comes out to the number 9, but he's been dragged into touch. It was Hayden Brayley dragged over into touch, but, God, that looked promising there.
Yeah, another good attacking raid down that left edge. Come off the back of a quick play. The ball, a bit more silly stuff going on here, which isn't good to see. But good bit of cover defence. I'm not sure who that was for the Rams that come across, but managed to bundle him into touch and stop that attacking effort.
I think you'll find it is actually the number 3, Brock Naden, who's been sitting there at fullback. Great defensive effort. And good to see late in the game as well, there's still that desperation on the line. And Trey Stewart, he's got a double. Do you reckon anyone's going to get a hat-trick today?
Oh, yeah, there could be a good chance in one of the later games, I think. A couple of those Penrith players are pretty handy. I saw a bit of them in Mudgee earlier on, so I don't know about Trey here. I think, he'll probably prove me wrong now, but I think the Rams might hold him out. They've got a bit of an eye on him now. Probably a little bit too late, but they're keeping a pretty close watch on him.
And don't forget, we've got Tyrone Harrison as well. He's sitting on 2 tries. Been really good in the second half for the Rams. Good outside, inside ball, and that is to the number 3, Brock Naden, standing in at fullback. Slowish play the ball. But good line speed here from the Colts as Booth takes it up. We see the 15, Bailey Hitchcock, with the interchange card in his hand, looking to come onto the field. Last tackle, 40 metres out. Nice little kick there from Woolno, but taken well by Trey Stewart. Again, he's got the support of Parsons if he needs it. Uses his speed. He gets past the tackle aboard. Makes a 360. Spins out of another tackle. And taken down by the man that kicked the football in, Woolno. Parsons hands it off, and here is Cooper O'Connor. Haven't seen much of him as opposed to Parsons or Stewart, but the back three have been very good for the Monaro Colts.
Yeah, certainly have. O'Connor has pretty limited opportunities. They've attacked a lot down the other side, down this left edge here for Monaro. So he hasn't been able to get his hands on the pillar heap. But, no, they've been very good. Their back line's just very schmick. They're pretty skillful, and Williams has directed them round pretty well. Bauer Scott's been putting them through holes. They're a very good side, this Monaro team.
So the kick there from Williams, and now it comes with the number 3, Brock Naden. I've noticed the number 9, Paddy Haycock. He's playing out here on this right-hand edge as he takes a run there from dummy half. And again, a penalty. Got 9 minutes on the clock. They want to hurry up if any sort of miracle is to happen. And they just take the tap and run. And here comes Tyrone Harrison. Well, if we don't see a Rams win here today, we at least want to see a hat-trick from the big man, Tyrone Harrison. As we see Woolno out of dummy half. He breaks 2 tackles. And then Parsons with a great tackle. But the offload goes backwards, says the referee. So the Rams retain the ball. Midway through the tackle count. To the left-hand side, ball dummies, runs, gets past Bauer Scott. And he scored a try. Bauer Scott was probably racing up, looking to put a shot on Brad Fernley, but great awareness there from the halfback Josh Board. Dummy ran himself and got over the line.
Yeah, took on the line there, Bordy. They had a fair few weighted numbers out there. The Rams looked to be a big overlap, so it was always on. And in the end, he didn't need the support players outside, and the gap opened up, and he took full advantage. Good try.
32 points to 16. 8 minutes to go. It'll be Brock Naden to take the conversion attempt. Don't know whether time's been held up here by the ref. But he'll want to take this quickly. You know, despite how good they were in the first half, the coach of the Colts, they'll be pretty disappointed with the defensive effort in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. We're parked next to the Monaro team tent here, and some bit of disappointment, I'd say, best describes what's going on at the moment. Bit of complacency from the boys, and obviously as a coach, that's pretty frustrating. You want to see them finish as strongly as they start, and that's certainly not what's happening here at the moment.
Well, I know the Penrith Panthers always talk about the final 7 minutes to a half and how important that is. So regardless of the result today, both teams will want to finish off fairly strongly heading into week 5 of the Laurie Daley Cup, the Southern Pool. We've just clicked over 2 o'clock here. Brilliant weather. We hope you stay for the coverage. We've got 2 more games. The Riverina Bulls taking on the Penrith Panthers in both the Andrew Johns Cup and the Laurie Daley Cup. As we see the 17 in Tyrone Harrison. He's made an offload. And Mawinni, he'll play the football. So Woolno again has been dynamic out of dummy half. He's going to look to chip over the top. He's got the speed. Is he going to sit up for him? It will. And Woolno, chip over the top out of dummy half. Some lazy markers. And well, we got 6 minutes to go. We wrote him off. It was a long time coming, but, well, 10 points in it.
I mean, I still think it's a bridge too far, but it's set us up for a grandstand finish, hasn't it? 4 quick tries to the Rams, and at least the last 6 minutes are going to be very entertaining. They've got to throw the footy around and got to give it everything here. So I don't think we'll see many better tries than that today. Woolno skirted out a dummy half, perfect chip over the top, got a glorious bounce, and yeah, that's as good as you'll see, I reckon.
Well, we have seen some high-flying finishes here in the under-16s and as well here today in the under-18s, but nothing beats a good try straight through the middle, like a hot knife through butter, as they would say, as Brock Naden converts the try. We've got 32-24. 8 points the difference. And God, I really do want to see the Rams sort of give this a real crack, throw the football around.
Wouldn't we love to see the Rams go in this set? I mean, they score here and we're set up for an outstanding last 5 minutes. They've certainly made a game of this now, and goal kicking's fairly important, isn't it? It's 6 tries to 4, and the Rams are only down by 8 points now.
Well, the Colts' body language has completely changed. You can see the Rams, they're up and about. They really believe they can win this contest. And Matt Parsons gets us back underway, and it's going to be that 17 in Tyrone Harrison. So Colby Peckham. But I'm sure Harrison will be looking around. There he is. He bounces off one. And boy, does he have some speed for a big fella. He fends off another one. And Parsons has to make the tackle. And a great tackle from Parsons. Unfortunately, the ball comes out. And, well, we're sitting here on halfway speechless. Good play there from Tyrone Harrison, but just unfortunately didn't hold on to the football.
You can see a real collective breath of relief there from Monaro. Harrison absolutely skittled him up the gut. The second hit up coming out from their own end, and he's left them lying everywhere. Brilliant run, about 35 metres all said and done, and unfortunately he's dropped the ball at the end, and Monaro very relieved.
And Jonah Latu, who's been as physical as anyone today, he just bumped him off like he was nothing, really. Great play there from Harrison, but they're going to need something here, the Rams, defensively. Maybe Harrison is the man to come up with that defensive area. You see him setting up, looking for a big shot. They come to the left-hand side. Through the hands of the captain now for Williams. Good hands. Here's Parsons. He dummies and runs and steps, gets past one defender, and then he's brought down there by Thomas Stimson. So Stewart, Williams, they're still playing expansive football here. It is Cahill. He's short, adjacent to the uprights. 3 minutes to go. 8 points still the difference. To the right they come. He is the 5'8". Hands it off. He's going to be held up there. Bauer Scott trying to inject himself in the final 3 minutes of this one. Now for Williams. Good pass. Touched. 6 to go. Parsons is going to be held up just. But a vital error there from the Rams trying to go for the intercept. Stuck an arm out. The Colts short to the line. Mitchell Atkinson, the captain, trying to get over. And he's short of the line also. So good scramble defence here on the goal line here for the Rams. Right-hand side, Williams again. Out to the 5'8". Good short ball. And it is the 11, Jonah Latu. Gets over. And Orbit confirms that Monaro Colts at this point in time will go to the top of the southern pool of the Laurie Daley Cup. Good ball, and he's been one of their best today, Callum Bauer Scott.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Pretty clear-cut man of the match, Jim, I reckon. Bauer Scott, as the game's progressed, he's just had more of a hand in it. You see him there. I think that's, his third or fourth try assist. He's put Latu into a massive hole there. And, mate, big man on an unders line at that sort of speed and that far out, you're not going to stop him. Beautiful stuff from Bauer Scott.
And yeah, well, Tyrone Harrison, he came out with a loose ball. He put on the big hit on Jonah Latu, but Latu's come back with a try of his own. And they'll look to wind the clock down here, you'd think. And the captain, he's taken the kick again, Mitchell Atkinson. Points on offer, he's going to take them. And, well, like we said, the Colts, they take on Penrith at Goulburn next week. What do you think the Panthers are going to need to do to muscle up against this? It's a very physical side, the Monaro side.
Yeah, they've got the advantage of getting a fair look at them here today, playing at the same venue. They'll take note. Obviously, Williams, Bauer, Scott, and Parsons at the back there. They're the big three you've got to shut down from now. If Penrith can put enough pressure on them and shut them down, it'll go a long way to winning the contest.
And, of course, you'll see the Panthers in action after our game that we have next, the under-16s. They'll take on the Riverina Bulls. Looking for the short kickoff. 10 seconds to go, and there was the Enigma trying to get up above the pack, Dennis Spathis. But it was all little too late from the Western Rams. A great effort. The Monaro Colts, they get up 38 points to 24, and some great love shown there. Tony Mika, Eli, and Tyrone Harrison on the sidelines. Great to see these blokes after, we saw a bit of a biff and a bit of a brawl, but after the game, after the siren sort of comes on and the game concludes, it's great to see the players, shaking hands and, making up. Just there's a lot of passion in this game.
Yeah, good stuff there from the Big Boy Brotherhood. A couple of the lads there having a bit of a cuddle and a shake hands, talking about their feelings, which is nice to see. It's very frustrating for the Rams, I think. They showed in that second half what they were capable of once they got a bit of ball, but too many mistakes and too many penalties in the first half cost them the game. And from Monaro, pretty polished performance. They let it slip a bit there at the end, just complacency, which can happen when you've got a big lead. So all in all, a pretty good game of football.
Like we said, the closeness of the Southern Pool, the Laurie Daley Cup, the Western Rams, a loss doesn't rule them out of contention to be in the semi-final, but they'll definitely need to win next week against GSR Tigers, who are at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, look, I think they'll probably grab the 2 points there next week, but unfortunately that could be it for the Rams. It's too congested at the top there, and with only 2 semi-final spots up for grabs, that'll just about spell the end of their campaign, unfortunately.
I like to see that as well. The Rams players shaking hands with the referees, the touch judges. Definitely great to see as we have the other officials lining up for our next game. Like I said, that's the end of you today, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm heading back to Bathurst. I've got a big shindig, my auntie's 60th birthday tonight, so I'm the guest of honour, obviously, other than her, so I'll try and get back for that one.
Well, it was an absolute pleasure calling alongside you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. It's been a real pleasure being here with you today as well.
Well, I won't be here with Evan, but I will be back quite shortly. We've just got the Riverina Bulls making their way onto the field for the Under-16s Andrew Johns Cup. I'll be with you shortly with that action. Stay tuned.